Welcome, friends. It's been a little while. Of course, we didn't have an episode during Christmas and the holiday seasons, but it is now January the 2nd, 2022, and I am joined live with my friend Sun Spirit.
Hello.
Who is telling me that now there's something about yields and 200... Oh, I see it now, yes. Why is this field only 50% fertilized? I would assume we need to fertilize it a second time.
It's just for grass. I think we're good.
Is that what field 33 is? Grass?
Yeah.
What are you driving?
I'm currently not driving anything.
What is that? Oh, it's the train, I see. Wait, we want lots of grass. We want tons of grass. We should fertilize it later. We are, as you might remember, working on trees. Sorry, I cut you off. What do you got?
No, it's all good. I was just looking for my tractor.
Who knows which tractor is anyone's tractor? Ah, this is what I was doing, which was plowing the land. And it was painful. We were talking about werewolf, the apocalypse. You don't have access to this land. Why don't I have access to this land? I'm literally supposed to be plowing it. Did we lose the contracts?
Check.
Why did I plow all this land if I can't get paid for it? It's a huge waste of time.
It is completed.
Very well. I will collect my money. I'm going to field 54, and this time I'm looking to do things right. I'm looking to do things in a way that's not sloppy and worthless. That's right, I'm going to be working with the rules, rather than against them.
Oh no, it's not that far.
Well, how was your holiday break, Sun Spirit, if that's your real name?
It was great. Hated
Good.
everything about the actual holidays, but I don't think I've been cleared off stress of work so much in years.
Good. I am glad to hear that you are no longer in stress of your work after your long break. And in the coming year, I hope that you find prosperity and that your efforts are commensurately rewarded.
Are you trying to RP as an elf right now?
No. Why would elf be your go-to?
Oh, just because of the meme you showed in the Discord.
I am trying to RP as a person who can't not sound angry all the time, even though they're saying nice things. I'm trying to bring Tsundere back. It's been a while since I've done it, so I'm going for that feel again. Also, I'm practicing maybe naturally deepening my voice and going for a different vocal feel. I don't know. I've never been in love with my own voice. Some people say they like it. I don't know. I know I might not ever get to the James Earl Jones level. But I want to believe that skill in voice acting may one day be a talent that I can acquire. Not singing, though. I've tried that before, and it will not work out. Can't happen. I've also been working on my upcoming year of tabletop RPG projects. It's tough because I don't know who I could ask to join me. Wait, what is going on here? Oh, I see. That will throw a wrench in my plans. This hill. Well, well, well. What a worthy opponent I've found. The curvature of the earth. And, of course, I had a whole year planned, but it included Battletech content, which I have chosen to forego in the future. So now I'm looking for new stuff, which actually means no spoilers, but I'm looking at old stuff.
All right.
And mega
I think
games.
I can help you there.
No, I'm good. I've made some decisions in that regard. I know where I'm going. For the first time in 2.5 to 3 years, pre-coronavirus, I uploaded rulebook PDFs to my tablet to read. That's how long it's been since I've really read a rulebook. And I know where I'm going now. I think I have an idea of what I want to do. Just tough. It's tough having ideas. Coming up with original content. Especially when people seem intent on dunking on me lately, insulting me. But it is what it is.
I'm not quite aware of which you speak of.
I mean, it happened in... Don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. We have rain coming up, by the way, so just know we won't be able to harvest or probably do many activities at all. At that point, we will need to move time forward. I've been going outside lately. Someone suggested that I might be going crazy and I should touch grass. And I don't think they meant literally, but I decided to take it literally. So for the last 6 days, I've been wandering outside, literally touching grass, walking at a time. Not far, but
Is there
many...
still grass where you're at?
Yes, there is. I mean,
Nice.
it's like 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit outside every day. My friend, I'm beneath the 49th parallel. That's the border with Canada. We like it warm down here. Yeah, that's right. 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Boiling. Boiling. Chris, welcome.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, thank you.
I was playing Total Warhammer 2 with Grimdark James yesterday. I was playing Empire, and I had a lot to say about my artillerymen who were, let's say they were danger short on their shots. It would be more fair to say that many of their shots landed directly in the middle of my formations.
So danger short somehow some sort of mix between danger close and drop short.
Yes.
Both which I appreciate.
I appreciate your appreciation. It took me 5 minutes to come up with that joke after James suggested that I tell one.
Oh, well, he wasn't wrong. It was appreciated.
How has your holiday break been?
Oh, yeah, it's been alright. Been good. Got home and got to get a bit of hunting done, and
What are you hunting with?
catch up with my hunting mentor. Well, we went together. He just got a traditional longbow that he's really into at the moment. I just went out with my 243, and we just went to a property. We didn't actually hunt very hard because he was designated to bring a bunch of venison backstrap for Christmas dinner for his family, and of course he forgot about it until a week before Christmas, and somebody reminded him. He was like, "Holy crap, I haven't got anything." So he went out and did a big morning hunt on a property he had access to, and they were able to harvest four deer that were fat AF. I mean, like, the backstrap looked more like like a lamb cutlet, like a thick lamb cutlet with just like 3/4 inches of fat on it, which is a ridiculous amount for a deer.
What do you have out there? Whitetail?
No, so Australia actually we don't have any whitetail, but we have a species that's fairly similar in its kind of size and temperament, which is called fallow. The only difference really being is they've got a palm antler instead of your traditional basket. So more like a moose, I guess. Also an animal with a palmed antler. Yeah, so that's what's on the property. So we always went for a poke, and we ended up knocking a couple of pigs over that were in a wallow, which the farmer loves. Get rid of those. And we saw one. I think it was a doe. I'm pretty sure it was a doe because the antler growth is pretty small this time of season. But it might have been a spiker, but there was no need to take it. You already had 3 deer in the fridge. You're like, mate, if you help me butcher these 3 deer, you can have one. Yeah, it's because it's a lot of work doing a full butcher on a deer that's been hanging in a cool room. So he just wanted some help. So yeah, it was awesome.
Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Did you find a jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree?
That song is so weird.
But I like it. I like Waltzing Matilda. It's actually quite good.
Yeah, but if you actually read the words and understand what's going on in this story, where basically I'd rather commit suicide than be caught.
Yes.
It's
we have hunters here who would definitely rather die than talk to the federal forces.
Well, actually, I think he's technically a poacher.
Yes.
But is it called poaching when you shoot when you take somebody's livestock? Isn't that something else?
I mean, it's still poaching. Listen, there are too many names for crimes. It's real simple. He took people's stuff.
Yeah, definitely wasn't his. Where are we up to? I didn't get a chance to jump in.
I'm so glad you asked. I was actually considering holding a company-wide meeting. We would all drive our tractors to the farmhouse and then stand around, wait for everybody to arrive, and then we would do 15 minutes of intro. I'm kidding. I'm currently doing a plowing contract because I don't want to finish the woodwork. We have a bunch of trees on the north end of the fields.
Yeah.
Yes, the trees have all been knocked down, but their stumps need to be eliminated. They need to be loaded in either the large or small tractor, depending on their size.
Roger.
We're doing tree work, that's right. Perhaps I will come back after I finish this plowing job.
That's all good.
I just really wanted to RP a fake corporate meeting where everyone suffered, especially the audience.
Hey, if there's a time in 22 is the game that absolutely needs specific roles and before the game starts and being right, the goals for this session
kind of a werewolves type game.
Yeah, just something because it is.
Cards.
There's so much that you could be doing, and how much easier it is. You could just go hey, this is your field, but the problem is there's work for your field for 2 months of the year when you sow it once, and then you harvest and re-plow it, and then after that there isn't any work going on for your field. So it's really better to get on everybody, help everybody out and that sort of stuff. But it's it can be chaotic.
German boy, how are you? You're right. It can get chaotic out here. That's why we work together, like a family. Perkins Farms. We're just like you.
Oh, sure. This thing weighs 1 ton. I'm probably not going to pick it up.
We have a tractor that has the front fork on it, a front loader fork, and I don't know where it went to, which is why I decided not to do The wood
Someone
stuff.
right here. The fork is just on the ground near
Very
the
well.
flatbed. Right
Oh,
here.
it's got the grinder on the front at the moment. That's what it is. It's that one.
How is the new farm sim? Calming. It's calming, I would say. It's been a weird week. I've kind of just been waiting for something to happen, you know, with all my shows canceled. I really don't... I know this sounds pathetic to say, but I don't really have that much going on, you know, during the holidays with all my shows canceled, so I've just been killing time. I'm considering learning a new language. That's how bad it's gotten. Not that I disparage learning new languages. I just know how good my language learning skills are. Wouldn't want to embarrass myself. It looks like the
Which
stream is
language are
really
you
having...
considering?
Well, I know enough Mandarin Chinese to get to a bathroom. That's about the full extent of my prowess. I have taken many Spanish courses. I've passed 2 of them. And then I was thinking maybe Japanese, one of them. Oh, the Mistborn audiobooks. I heard that they are not the best audiobooks, but the novels are obviously great, so I don't know. And again, I've never heard them. I only know what I've been told.
I've to finish watching the Wheel of Time TV show.
Oh, how is Wheel of Time? I saw the first 5 minutes of it and just couldn't continue.
So my I know some while ago I told you that like, you know, we obviously talk randomly about Wheel of Time here, and then a friend of mine, like we were watching something else on Amazon and it came on. You know, and he like didn't realize he was an absolute mad fanatic for it. And oh my god, what is going on? Did I get it?
You got it. Yep.
Anyway, so he's a mad fanatic for it, which was awesome. And he hadn't seen it until the trailer was on, and he was getting very excited by the trailer. And he's now gone to Antarctica, and he's working in Antarctica at the moment. And he downloaded the shows, and he watched the first 2 or 3 episodes. And then he basically said, so, you know, psychological well-being is very important here, and like reporting on your friends if you think somebody's about to, you know, go out and go postal on everybody on the station. And he was like, I couldn't risk it. I couldn't continue watching, but I was seriously concerned somebody was going to complain about the yelling and screaming going on in my room as I yelled myself hoarse about all the decisions being made. And I was like, okay.
For the folks at home, Australia is a popular departure point for Antarctica. It's one of the most southernmost points that we have with a major port. You do still have to go through the 60s and 70 latitude, which is horrifying. It's basically just vomiting the whole time. You're in a sealed metal coffin, moving through seas that are taller than your ship. Not great. Hard to believe we ever got to Antarctica in wooden ships with sails.
Yeah. So I then foolishly asked him what was, like, you know, your biggest concerns or whatever, or disappointments or whatever. And I then proceeded to get, you know, where you get, like, I sent it on Facebook Messenger, and you know when you've realized you've got an issue is when you, like, the whole message screen is one message. And then, like, I pushed my thumb up, like one full thumb push, and it was still going. And I was like, all right, I feel like I need to, like, sit on a chair and, like, grab a brandy and like I can't just read this whilst I'm doing my normal job. I have to have full brain capacity.
But did you like it?
So and you know, I said this to him as well. I was like, I'm coming at this with, like, yes, I listened to audiobooks a long time ago. Well, I say a long time, a good minute ago, and so I don't have anywhere near the amount invested in what I believe it should or shouldn't be. So I'm just coming at it as enjoying a show, a story, and I don't dislike the story. I don't dislike the characters, as in the actors they've chosen individually. I do find some things odd in decisions made on the different types of characters that don't seem to make any sense. Why they would all be in the same area or something. But you know, I can allow for that. I can get past it if they're good actors, and I think they are. I think I didn't know about the whole Matt incident and the actor who plays Matt. I didn't know about that because that was kind of one of my other things. I was like, what the fuck? Like what is this really janky? Oh no, Matt, you haven't come through the portal. I was like super annoyed with that scene.
I don't understand really what you're saying. What happened with the actor?
So apparently the actor has just broken contract, because in episode 6 or during episode 5, maybe during episode 5, he just broke contract and left with no warning. And so then they were filming apparently in season order, so they just had to find a way in the scene that he left to somehow retroactively make him disappear. For some reason.
That's gonna make Matt is so pivotal. He's literally the greatest character. It takes him 4 or 5 books to warm up, but at some point the whole story is basically about him.
Could you imagine just having one of the 4 hobbits just Sam just left? The actor
look,
Sam,
you literally picked the only hobbit that could conceivably leave and change the show, right? You obviously can't have Frodo leave.
Yeah.
He's the main character.
Yeah.
Pippin and Merry, you could literally do without them. Their entire side story is a bunch of nonsense.
That's what I was saying. Sam leaves. The actor Sam leaves halfway through the filming.
Yes.
And he just stays with Elrond in Rivendell. Just imagine he just stays there. And then for some reason catch up with everybody at the start.
While looking differently, just like Spartacus season 2, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what was going on in the first few minutes of Spartacus season 2.
Oh, me too, man.
They were just showing a guy beating the shit out of people, and I was like, wow, this is great, but where's Spartacus?
Well,
turns out that was Spartacus.
This is the guy who's going to be the big bad for Spartacus. That was my mind. And then I was with you. And I was like, oh shit, this is what? I think I actually stopped that show and started Googling to find out what the hell was going on.
Yes, I did. I didn't make it through season 2, episode 1. I couldn't go any further. I felt bad for the man.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, 100%.
So, and again, everyone pretending it was still the same guy. They were like, hey, Spartacus, how's it going, man?
Some shows even they'll even poke fun at the fact when an actor changes with well, it's me now. They'll make something about it's well, you
Iron
really
Man 2. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's actually one of the best cases of that happening was Rhodes going, that's right, it's me now. This is who I am.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that trope is Beer Fest. When the guy dies and his brother shows up to take his place, played by the same actor. They were twins.
Nice. I can't say based on what you've evoked here that I will watch Wheel of Time. I will tell you my biggest beef with it, beyond the fact that the opening scene literally revealed that it's just the future of Earth, and it took many books for that to actually solidify. It was just a fan theory for a long time, and since I didn't read fan theories, I didn't figure it out into the book where they were explicitly, this is the future.
Yeah.
And this is entirely personal casting. So we do see pictures of Land Mandragora, of course, the man who is a nation, the king who rides alone, Moraine Said Eyes Warder, on several book covers, and he is not what one would consider to be extremely Asian. But that's not what gets me. It's simply because his land is called the Land of 10,000 Lakes, right? That I always believed that he was kind of like Wisconsin. He would look like a linebacker or something, and he'd be a cheesehead.
I have less of an issue with who they've chosen to, because I honestly think the individual actors are all very good actors. Like, I haven't found, like, there's only like one or two where I'm like, like I'm hoping you get more opportunity to be a good actor later. But I do have issue with the way kind of the waters were depicted in here. Like, I remember, like, one of the few things I remember from Wheel of Time, it's like waters are supposed to be like real badass mofos.
That is one half of the waters, yes.
Yeah, and then they also have this, like, you know, this really in-depth, crazy connection with the person they ward.
Yes.
And I appreciate that. But I feel like there was a lot of focus put on that part of them. And even, like, almost in a statement about, you know, like somebody wanted to make a statement about it, about how diverse or whatever this land is. And I was like, yep, cool, but I don't feel like I feel like you're trying to make these guys more concubines than they are water.
Actually, that is the other thing that they are.
And that's cool.
There is a specific Aja that literally just recruits groups of men so that they can have harem sex with them while also using them as dogs.
Yeah.
Is it the green Aja?
Yeah, green seems to be the one that's like how I think there's even a comment in there like you're always going to be green. You can never be kept to one man. Like
that sounds right to me.
That was made. And I'm cool with that. It just like seemed like that was the only part that we.
You need to understand that a lot of Wheel of Time is Robert Jordan's weird, kinky sex fantasies. A lot of it.
Yeah, I know. And
okay, I'm going to remind you of a scene that has stuck with me forever. There is a point where Rand and one of his harem mates, the Queen Princess, her name is Elena. She has taken a warder, but she's a female warder. So while he is having sex with Elena, I think is her name, her warder is also sympathetically feeling it. And that's a thing that only happens on the woman-to-woman bond. Now, that's fucking weird. That's just weird for that to happen.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You know, I tried to promise myself at the new year that I would do less political talk and dark things. But I'm still here talking about an extremely adult subject. I can't even maintain my accent while I'm doing it. All right. Well, that's that. All right, New Year's goal failed. We got 29 minutes in. 29 minutes in, guys.
I'm so glad I can help.
Yeah. All right, so look, Wheel of Time is like professional wrestling. When it's good, it's amazing. And there's a lot of bullshit that has to happen to arrange for those excellent moments.
Yeah.
And if you think that weird, kinky warder sex is weird, just wait until you hear about these people called the Shan Chan.
Yeah, yeah. So I got onto somebody's YouTube channel, who's obviously a big Wheel of Time fan, and just enjoyed listening to that person's take on a franchise they obviously love and adore and all that stuff. And then they also do abbreviations of the book sort of thing. So for each book. So I've listened to those 20-minute abbreviation of the book to remind myself of a lot of this stuff. So, but I mean, it also then he did an interview with Brandon Sanderland, and I was just like, oh yeah, maybe I'll just go back to Starlight. I'm like, I remember that one. In fact, there was times while I was watching the movie, and I was like, I was watching the TV show, and I was just like, hang on a minute. I'm like, is that which universe is that in? That I've forgotten about. I was like, oh no, that's the Stormlight Archives I'm thinking about. That's not what I'm watching right now.
I like Stormlight Archives, but it has become a clearinghouse for all of his other series. So you really have to be on the toes to figure out who's cameoing and when. I was pretty surprised by the reveal of the new villain. Sorry, what was that?
So I haven't watched his other series, Mistborn, is it, or Mist something or other?
Oh, okay. You think? Okay. Let me see if I can do all of his other series off the top of my head. Mistborn is one of his trilogies. It is then followed by the second trilogy, which is turning out to really be 4 books, which is going to end soon, which is Mistborn, Wax and Wane, or the Alloy of Law series. We've also got Emperor's Soul, which is set on a world called Elantris, which also has a book series called... I don't remember. It's one of the first ones he wrote, though. It was one of his first Cosmere novels. Then there's also Sixth of the Dawn. Twilight of Shadows in the... Twilight of Science in the Shadows of Hell. Well, Way of Kings is Stormlight Archives. It's the first Stormlight Archive. But see, the thing is, Stormlight Archives is it is where all of the other Brandon Sanderson Cosmere novels are taking place in, is the big deal. So all of the characters from his other series are showing up there. You've got White Sands, which is technically a novel and also a graphic novel now. Aether of Midnight is no longer canon. There's the rare book that he wrote and then unpublished called Dragon something. I really can't remember the other novel set in Elantris. What's the one with the colors? The colors based one. I mean, it's the one that, what's her name? The bounty hunter Violet is from. And the sword. Nightblood is from that series. Nightblood, obviously best character, top tier. Best support character. Best main character. What is that one called? And I feel like I must be missing at least one big Sanderson Cosmere novel series. You should know, though, that after the Mistborn Wax and Wane is over, and I think he said he's going to do it after Stormlight Archives 5, they're going to do Mistborn, but in space. Which is going to be insane. Alright.
This is whole, he's doing 10... does this link into his whole...
Something that you should know, by the way, is that if you search for the Mistborn RPG...
Does he lie to me?
No. If you search for Mistborn RPG, you'll see my face, because I am the top Mistborn RPG streamer. I was the first, and I was also the best. Don't believe me? Look it up. Cosmere Wiki, which is called the 17th Shard.
Sorry, my headphones died. I missed that last 30 seconds.
Oh, I said, if you're looking for Mistborn RPG, my face will appear. I'm the first and best Mistborn RPG streamer to have ever existed. I just know a lot about Brandon Sanderson, although I am missing several of his novels.
How do you go about unwriting a novel?
It's called Dragonsteel, by the way. And Elantris... Oh, the first Elantris book is literally just called Elantris. Okay. Warbreaker is the name of the novel that they do with colors. And it's dope as shit. How do you unwrite a novel? I believe... You'll have to look it up on the wiki, but I believe that Dragonsteel was his writing thesis for either his master's or his doctorate. And after polishing the idea of Adonalsium and the 16 gods and all of that, he decided to remove it. I mean, Aether of Midnight was a draft that would eventually become something like Mistborn. You can actually request his writing assistant, Peter Aelstrom, send you a copy of Aether of Night or Midnight. It's one of those. It is not as polished as many of his other novels, but that is because it's a draft. So,
yeah.
And those are just his Cosmere novels. If you haven't read his superhero series, Reckoners, it is really good. It's basically killing Superman if Superman was evil.
Like, is that Burn Bright? Is that... Was there a movie that was... Wasn't there a movie about evil Superman?
I have no
There's so
idea.
many things about evil Superman, man. It's crazy. There's like 2 video games, multiple series.
You mean Injustice?
Yes.
All right, chat is saying Burn Bright is correct. Right, Burn.
Okay.
Bright Burn.
Oh, Brightburn, yeah.
Evil Kid
Evil
Superman.
Kid Superman.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Good.
You know-
How are we going with this timber?
What?
How are we going with this this tree removal thing?
I'm
My
on my
next
way.
problem is to
Oh,
track
you have to
down
take
and
it
see
to the
where all this
woods.
stuff's at.
You have to take it to the wood chipper in the northwest side of town.
Oh, I already sold it.
Okay.
Oh, it's just more now. Well, the easiest way would actually be to come over with the mower, and every time I hit something, I then know there's a stump or a log still there. That might be the.
Have we
Best way
moved
to
all the
do it.
trees yet? I would assume that they would be in the way.
No, all the trees are. I think all the trees are gone. There's like one branch left, but it's kind of stuck-ish in the ground.
Ah, that's right. You missed all of the evil branches from the satanic cult.
Is that back the other way? Is it?
They were graphically glitching. They formed spider webs of pure black between their branches. It was...
Was it the blight?
That was unpleasant to look upon. It made me question the nature of reality.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you guys, it's hard out here for a tabletop RPG streamer. Using Grimdark James's incredible powers of corporatism, I have been getting many more replies to when I'm sending out messages like, hey, would you like to play this game? Those replies are no, but there are a lot more of them, 5 times as many as normal. Today I went to apply to a paid gig, like you're a player on a show and they pay you. And the instructions said they would prioritize non-white, non-straight players, so I just didn't bother applying. I felt like they made it clear that I wasn't wanted at all, in any way. It's tough out here.
Yep.
I just realized I've now failed again at 39 minutes. 10 minutes later. bringing people down with my depressing story.
I'd like it to be known that I was not involved in this part.
It's okay. You were there the first time I failed. You were the instigator. I think we'll get by with me being unable to get past my oh, this is done. Very well. I think I did a lot better on this field, which is not to say I did a good job. I just did better.
I hate those drag angle plows so much that I've been waiting for Lizard to bring out their straight one, and it came out, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and so much of my life has changed since I don't have to deal with those things.
Nice.
So annoying to use.
That's what we've got.
I
just want to make sure that we all understand that we have to hold on to what we've got. We've got each other, and that's a lot. Whoa. We're halfway there. Whoa. Living on a prayer.
Oh. It's definitely. Alright. I'm gonna do some mowing and find some stumps. So I do hope. I haven't watched The Expanse yet. I'm kind of waiting until it all comes out, and then I can just...
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I also have not watched the second part of... Sorry, I didn't watch the part that was the Martian War. I guess it's called the Free Martian Navy or something? No. The Free... something Navy. I haven't watched it yet, though. So it's the second to last season. They were doing a great job with Expanse. I feel like they've...
Yep.
Set a bar.
It's pretty cool considering that, like, it almost died on the vine at one point. You know, between Netflix and Amazon.
That's true.
It's I just know everyone, like all those Firefly people are like, this is what we deserve.
Well, you know, he said he will do a Firefly sequel.
Yeah.
It's going to start with Shepherd Book and Wash meeting together. Those are the two characters who die. This is his ironic way of saying he definitely would not do a Firefly sequel.
Yeah.
I can definitely see there's a tree branch over there, but you guys have done a great job of clearing this place up. And did someone fertilize this field as well?
We did not.
Are you sure? Because it said 100% over there. Yep, fertilized 100%. And the weeds are growing too.
33.
Oh, 33, right, of course. Let me go get the fertilizer truck. Should probably use another smaller, more agile tractor. One that's nimble. Basically anything that isn't the giant blue one that I wish it was good, but it really is not. It's just not good. It's just not good.
Have you considered selling it?
I have, but it is the strongest tractor we have, and there's some equipment only it can use.
Okay.
And if we sold it, we would just have to buy another very large one to operate that equipment. Wow, the stream and the recording are not going well. I guess maybe I should restart my computer after tonight. It has been a few weeks since I have done that. I thought that I might miss you, but here you are. What do you got in you? Fertilizer, eh? exactly what I thought.
There's the stump.
Oh, just gonna go grab that thing again then.
Yeah, once the grass is mowed, it's way easier to see them.
Didn't these used to go out at a very wide angle? Why is it so small?
Because you have the regular discs instead of the spreading ones.
I could have sworn I got the spreading ones.
Maybe that's because it's the bigger of the two and maybe doesn't have that option.
Suppose it's possible. I mean, it is spreading kind of wide.
Alright, so...
I guess the real question is it working though? Yes, it is. It is working. Did we talk about favorite Christmas movies yet?
I don't think so.
Anyone got a favorite Christmas movie?
I don't really have a favorite Christmas movie, but I do enjoy making a big jug of cocktails and sitting with my partner and watching whatever the Princess Bride Christmas movie is and laughing at it hysterically whilst
You
we
mean
get
like
drunk.
Hallmark movies? I don't know if you guys
Like
have
whatever
Hallmark.
the Christmas Prince movie romantic
Yes,
comedy.
you're talking
thing
about Hallmark
that's on.
movies. Don't worry about it. It's an American thing, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we have shitty movies.
Oh, don't worry. Everyone
Whoa.
has shitty movies.
There's some weirdness just up in there.
I mean, I really like Die Hard, but that's depend on what you want as a Christmas movie. Otherwise, I kind of like what's the Scrooge one with the Muppets?
Muppet Christmas Carol, which is also what Chad said. I would have gone with Iron Man 3, just because I wanted to include a Marvel movie for Christmas. But I would also now say Hawkeye is also a Christmas-based series. And I think it was pretty good. Honestly, I'd say, despite the somewhat laissez-faire attitude toward murder, it might have been the best Marvel series so far, including Daredevil. Not by much. It's not better than some of them by much, but it is better.
I still like Loki best.
Loki is very popular and it's very good. I like Loki a lot, but Loki was also filled with plot holes. You need to just recognize that Loki didn't make any fucking sense at all.
My point is, I don't care though.
Yes, that's fine. Just like Loki. You have no cares for how the world actually works, and you only care about causing as much chaos as possible, which definitely sounds very Sun Spirit.
Sure, let's go with that.
You don't agree?
Not really, but that's fine.
You don't think you're a very chaotic person?
Not at all.
You have antisocial ideas like old tabletop RPGs are better than new tabletop RPGs.
Yeah, that's just because I make sense.
See?
It's
Antisocial behavior. Let's get him in for questioning. He's one of those... What were they called? Randoms? Tangents? Variant. He's a variant.
Also, I kind of like the what's the name of it? The Falcon and
Falcon and the Winter Soldier was also good. I mean, they were all good. It's hard to say any of them were bad.
I mean, I liked half of WandaVision.
I like WandaVision, but it's hard to root for 2 bad guys, 3 bad guys.
I agree.
All being bad guys to each other. Yes, they're all terrible. There were some great parts to it, like Quicksilver showing up, but it's the old Quicksilver rather than the new Quicksilver.
The one from Fox, which is much better in my opinion, but
that's questionable.
He's the only He's the only character from those shows, from those movies that you actually care about.
All right, chat is also saying old RPGs are better than new RPGs. It is an
Is that
opinion to have.
Heresy.
No, it's not heresy. It's just, I don't agree with it. Listen. This isn't just this year. I'm trying not to come down as hard on people with my opinions. I do want to bludgeon them, actually. I do want to bludgeon them and be right. But I'm not always right. And I should respect other people's opinions. I don't agree with the idea that old RPGs are better than new RPGs. I think everything needs to be judged by the contents of its character. Being old doesn't necessarily make anything better.
No, but the reason why the old ones stood the test of time just it means that they were made to last, or actually had some kind of hook into it that made you want to come back.
Is that really true, though? Do you believe that AD&D had such a massive hook despite being so rules light? Most of 3.0 was attempting to address the fact that there were literally no rules for most things.
Yes, I believe that actually gave the game.
So let me ask you, halfling sneak, right?
What?
Halfling sneak. It's an ability only halflings have. So anyone else can sneak, but only halflings can do halfling sneak, correct?
I don't know. Is that first edition?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not certain about that. I
All right.
have not played.
The point is that the rules were so poorly defined that as at that time, I guess they weren't called classes, as a race, as you advanced as a halfling, you would become better at sneaking by like 5% each time. But did that really matter? Because the chance percent was so low that someone who was totally unskilled and just made up a reason for the game master would have a better chance, because there were no rules about it. There were no rules as to what you needed to roll in order to sneak. It was total chaos, the Wild West. Just because something came first does not mean it was better.
All right. Well,
It needs to be judged.
About the same rule in the second edition, which was just percentage based.
Now look, there are many fine points to first and second edition.
There's also bad ones, but
yes,
I mean,
there are
overall,
plenty of bad ones. I feel
still
like we are
feel
we're at the tail end of it, of good tabletop RPG design. But we are there. It has happened. We were in a golden age. I feel like even before COVID, it was slowing down.
Let's just put it this way. I feel like the old one gave more of a narrative and a kind of a game flow, and not such a good game system, right? Like, nobody's gonna say that the old way of doing combat was great, but it had character, and you could pretty much make up most of the rules because nothing was set. Now you have an entire set of rules about doing everything and anything, and no flexibility about anything. Everything is a stat now.
Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the very canon Harlot table released by Gary Gygax as a supplement?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, you haven't heard of this one? It's 20 terms by which you might define a woman that you meet while passing on the street. Harlot, streetwalker, prostitute, whore. Oh, I don't remember them all because I don't remember terms by which I might insult a woman by her choice of profession. But I assure you, it definitely exists, and it is totally canon. There are a lot of bad choices that they've made.
Yeah, I think you're misrepresenting what I think about good.
Oh no, I'm just looking for an
an
excuse to take a dump on Gary Gygax.
That's fine.
Not misrepresenting you, I'm properly representing him.
Did you find a new stumps?
Oh, I'm just driving the electric tractor around to drive it around. We missed a branch over here.
Yeah.
We missed a lot of branches. Ooh.
Yeah. over near the workshop.
I just realized I can go get the wind rower and row some wind.
Sure.
Sure.
Are we wrapping this for silage, or are we doing hay?
We should definitely make silage. I think we've got plenty of hay for the amount of cows I have.
Hay
And yep,
is for
windrow
horses.
it is.
Very well. Let me go row these winds. Better than rowing boats, that's for sure. You don't know if you've played a new RPG. Have you played Blades in the Dark? Have you played the new Avatar RPG? I mean, you've played Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, which is only like 5 years old at this point. It's basically new.
Hey, I'm really enjoying what 5th edition and James is doing at the moment in our.
All of you colorblind night visioners, yes, I'm sure you are.
Man, we haven't been able to get a game in. It's been difficult.
Yes, I know about how difficult it is to get games together.
Yeah, all these people with families and commitments and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Or as I say, failure to use protection. And then I find out that people actually want to have kids, and I'm like, oh, you guys, I forgot about you.
I don't know. You know, it's a complicated question. I'm at that part of my life where I really need to be asking myself, do I want to have kids? Because I'm 35. You know, there's only so much time left to find a partner. You know, like a reasonably aged partner. Not like Leonardo DiCaprio, right? You know. There's one thing we can say about me, Mr. APGamingREAL, is that I am not Leonardo DiCaprio. We can all agree on that, definitely.
I can confirm.
All right.
Can confirm.
I'm glad we're all on the same page on that one.
Yeah. Oh, D.
You know, you might have liked joining me for when I was doing the co-op for A Hunter Call of the Wild. The game was so frustratingly terrible, though. I would not call GURPS new, nor would I call it good. Have you played Cyberpunk Red? Because that's pretty fresh. I mean, it's about as fresh as you can get beyond Avatar, the RPG. What do you have to say about GURPS, Sunspirit? Tell me.
Is this the one that Rift was based on?
Yes.
I never understood anything about that system. All I know is you can destroy entire universes.
All you need to know about GURPS is that it's really generic. I remember seeing a... Yes, if you did Cyberpunk Red, you have played a new RPG. I remember seeing Critical Role promote a new RPG that Matt Mercer had helped work on called Open Legends that was going to be incredible. It was going to change the way we played RPGs. Well, guess what? Have any of you actually heard of Open Legends?
Never.
Yeah, I didn't think so. It was, like all very generic games, was not good. Yes, you could play a wizard traveling with an astronaut chrononaut, but it had no flavor. There was nothing to it. Literally no purpose. And it's unfortunate, but it's simply the way that large generic games go. They have no flavor, and therefore are just kind of blah.
Also, you understand my plight about new RPGs then.
I'm gonna let that one pass. I disagree with you, but I don't want to waste time contesting you. You know, that's another thing today. Let me tell you about the kids today. No one really wants to debate anymore. They just want to say their opinion and peace out. I say that as I'm saying my opinion. But I feel like we as a worldwide people have lost the fine art of debate. And you know what? I blame the French. When they gave up on things and decided to start rioting constantly, I think the rest of us lost a good example of how to sit down over a nice baguette and a bad coffee and just talk. So you don't like my characterization of French coffees?
I just know that they have some strong opinions about it. They might even riot over
About their coffee.
Statement.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you were drinking fresh coffee, you definitely want to riot. That's for sure. Don't worry, friends. I believe that all coffee is horrible. So I don't have beef with your coffee specifically, just all coffee in general.
I mean, it's not theirs anyway. It comes from Colombia or some shit like that.
I mean, there's plenty of locations besides Colombia that make coffee beans, but no, just the beans itself is only the first part of the coffee, correct? I mean, you've got how you roast them, how they're handled, even how it's injected into the cup can vary its taste.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You've got all measure of accoutrement. What if you add cinnamon to your coffee? Suddenly, your coffee's not so coffee anymore. Well, that's enough about coffee, a subject I know almost nothing about and don't care to drink. Let's talk about something I do know a lot about and wish there was more of. Naval anime. There's really only like 3 good naval animes, and good is a really questionable term.
Are you including space naval in that
No,
category?
I'm not. No. There are plenty of good space naval and terrible space naval. And, I might add, the most average anime that has ever been created is a space naval one. I consider it to be 5 out of 10 in every category. It is entirely average in every way. For me, it is the touchstone by which all other animes are judged. Bodacious Space Pirates. Ask me about it. Ask me about it. Be curious.
I refuse, sir.
I'll bite.
All right, let me tell you about Bodacious Space Pirates. Imagine.
Mostly because I need an anime to watch at the moment. I haven't got anything on my.
I want to be very clear here. It is a 5 out of 10 in every way. It will not wow you at all. Bodacious Space Pirates is a Japanese anime about a young woman at a private high school who finds out that she is the inheritor of a space pirate ship, and the crew would like her to take on the mission very soon, please, because they're running out of money and they'd like to be alive. So she decides to, on the weekends, go space pirating. Eventually, she joins the school's local space yachting club, and through a series of misunderstandings, I believe, it's been a while since I've watched it, the space yacht club is then folded into the pirate ship crew, and they go on a very long school trip whereby they attempt to end all piracy ever and become the ultimate admiral of all space pirates. Oh, and stop the invasion of their homeworld. Yes, I forgot about that part. Yep. So, at some point, they do address the fact that most of the crew are schoolgirls in schoolgirl uniforms, Japanese schoolgirl uniforms in space, and that skirts are not adequate for 3-dimensional motion in space. Look, there are many series like Tenchi Muyo that just ignore that part. There's a lot I could say about Tenchi Muyo, but I would prefer that my stress levels remain low, so I'm just gonna skip them. Bodacious Space Pirates. 5 across the board. Average music, average plot, average animation. Just average. there's a stinger at the end of the series that makes it clear that there should have been a second season, but it didn't earn it because only non-average animes get a second season. Only really bad or really good ones.
I don't know why when you said really bad, I thought you were talking about
Sword Art Online was exactly what I meant. They can't stop making seasons for that fucking anime. Oh, my beef with Sword Art Online is legendary. Sword Art Online is the Fortnite of anime.
I'll hear this because this is something I have actually watched.
Oh, you don't? Okay, so listen.
Long ago. So
the original concept of Sword Art Online isn't that bad. And even though it delves into like weirdly erotic teenage romance with like the two of them like having sex in the game, and it's never really addressed again at that point, or the fact that all of his friends are young women who fall in love with him and treat him as if he's basically the main character. Well, I mean, he is the main character. But in game, they don't know that. These women basically stop their entire lives to help him and are best friends with his girlfriend / wife. Forget all of that. Forget the fact that the guy who wrote it never actually played an MMO, so doesn't understand modern or any era of video game mechanics. Sword Art Online would be a really bad game if it was a game. We see it again and again in its mechanics. Forget the part where the game was actually designed to kill everyone that entered it. It's just bad mechanics in general. The series has two really huge problems. One, they forgive Hitler. I don't mean real Hitler. I mean the guy who locks them into the world, right? He's a bad fucking dude. And after Sword Art Online Season 2, every time he comes up, they're like, yeah, he was a bad guy. But you know what? He gave me the key to the digital world. So was he really that bad? Yes, he was. He fucking killed thousands of people intentionally. Number 2, sexual assault. This is the only plot line the author knows. Every season, one of the new female characters must be sexually assaulted. That's it. And Kirito has to come to their rescue, improbably. And if it's not Kirito, it's the guy who plays Kirito, you know, like the main dude. Don't believe me? So Netflix, I believe, combines the seasons into 2 parts, even though it's really 4 actual seasons. In each half of Netflix, there is a sexual assault that Kirito must step in to stop. And then we got to the Alicization arc, or whatever it's called, the newest one, which it's not really that new anymore. It's been out for years. But guess what? Almost immediately, sexual assault. Only Kirito can stop it. Everyone else is magically pinned in place
by somebody's shoulder.
And I'll tell you what, when I saw it, I was outraged, and I thought, this author can literally write nothing. But the scene wasn't that bad. It actually wasn't that bad. But guess what? I was watching the English version. Now, this isn't the version that's in English. I just meant they redid the whole scene and removed about half of it for English audiences. Because in the Japanese version, it's bad. It's real fucking graphic. So my beef with Sword Art Online is that the author doesn't know the subject they're writing and uses the same plot line over and over again. And look, I am a tabletop RPG game master. I have used some plots over and over again. They're standard tropes. But I am also not being paid millions and millions of dollars. Right?
Yeah.
I can get away with pulling this shit off because I don't have somebody like me watching my campaign going, wow, you just reused that plot line. Actually, I do have people like that, but
I mean, if you
I don't
want
care about
to
them.
like compare legitimate things, you don't have the same kind of time to come up with new shit that they do.
That's true. I mean, I have to do what I'm doing on the fly in response to what players are doing, right?
Yes.
This
and
guy
they
can
have
literally spend as
years.
much time as possible. Right. Now, as long as I'm taking shots at Sword Art Online, let me just say that Sword Art Online alternative is incredible. It's actually really fucking good.
That's the one with the little
It's the
lady
guns.
with
Yeah,
the
it's the guns.
90.
Guns and lightsabers. Yeah. It's really good.
So you you like that season?
It's technically not a season of Sword Art Online. The first thing to recognize is that it was not written by the author of Sword Art Online. It was written by an author who writes stories about guns. And he said, hey, I'd like to write a story in the Sword Art Online universe. I would like to sub-license. And he said yes.
Am I going to get a lot of money for doing nothing? Yes.
Yes, he did. He did get a lot of money. Sword Art Online Alternative was literally made into an anime. That's how popular it was as a manga. It was incredible. I managed to get through the whole season without being spoiled, and it was just so good. I liked it a lot. It should be noted, though, that I used the P90 as my typical infantry weapon in any game where the P90 is available. I just like small, fast-moving, fast-shooting, somewhat sprayish weapons and explosives and first-person shooters. You know, I'm not really a sniper. I don't have that kind of hand-eye coordination, and my hands don't move correctly. So I like to be able to put a lot of something in an area very quickly to kill people, and, well, it just does the job, the P90. Or the Bison, or the Op, or an UMP-45, although I prefer not to use that one. Not a fan of carbines.
I do find it funny every time I watch a semi-futuristic movie or whatever with just low budget, and
they have the P90s.
Well, P90s and Styres, the bullpuck Steyr.
To make them look futuristic because they're ergonomic.
Yeah. I just like, and every time it's like the original bullpuck design with like solid sights on top of it and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh god.
You're talking about the Steyr AUG, right?
Yeah, Steyr AUG. Yeah,
I like those. It's not really like the P90 for me. The Steyr AUG is more like a rifle rather than the P90, which is really just like a fast shooting submachine gun.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's great with the scope, although there are multiple barrel configurations, right? Like one to turn it into a light machine gun. It seems like a good gun, you know, from playing with it in video games, which doesn't necessarily convey the actual usage of something, because I've seen tank games where Shermans can stand up to Tigers, and that's not really factual.
If we learn anything from Brad Pitt,
I mean, he killed the Tiger by getting around it. He didn't shoot it on the front side was the big deal.
Yeah, I know. That's my point. It's just like by sheer luck, and sacrifice of all the other.
So the thing is that we made a lot of Shermans, and they weren't meant to fight one-on-one with Tigers. That's not their purpose. They're an infantry support vehicle. They could take a Tiger out with a side shot, but what they were really good at was spraying down infantry and holding them in place, while our infantry, who could ride on or at least walk beside our very comfortable long-term operations Shermans, could support or just, you know, fire giant rockets. The other big deal was that for every Tiger, we made 10 Shermans. So, you know, we just had a lot of fucking Shermans. So even if you kill 2 Shermans, the third one will get you.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here waiting for you to squat a poop.
I mean,
there it goes again. 1 hour, 13 minutes. I'm canceled. Here I go again talking about poop.
Biggest reason, though, I think, is mechanically sound was the biggest thing about the Sherman. You don't hear them breaking down all that much.
Well, they were easy to repair as well.
Yeah.
What is this telling me? I can only take 1 bale size at a time? Did you make multiple bale sizes?
Nope. They'll all be 220.
All right, I'll try it again. Nope, it's not taking that one.
What?
Well, if you want to double check my work, you can always stop by twitch.tv/APGamingREAL. Yes,
yeah,
I agree that this stream does appear to be skipping visually. It's because my computer is struggling to keep up with the 4K graphics, although it should only be 1080p. I also haven't restarted my computer in many days, so I apologize, Divas Nightmare. It's user incompetence on behalf of me, the person talking, who is incompetent. Wait, should I be picking these things up, or were we going to bale wrap them?
Well, you
Yes, we need to unload them.
kind of,
Yes.
yeah.
All right.
Take it to where
I
the bale
forgot
wrappers
about the
are,
bale
probably.
wrapper. No, I'll do it in the field. What is it they say? Fuck it, we'll do it live. Well,
I hope not.
hopefully, even though the stream is skipping, the audio isn't skipping. It should just be visual. Yes, it is not on your end. Worry not. Your computer is working as it normally is. It's not your problem. It's mine. Now, it's odd
Actually,
because for me, I'm playing in 60 FPS. Nothing's wrong. It's just the stream.
Yeah.
Ooh. There we go.
Actually, I was trying to work out what mine was doing FPS wise, because I've got a 2K monitor, but it actually pins out at 60 unless you go and change the settings by default. And mine pretty much sits at 60 all the time. I'm pretty happy. And then I went to go see what the new version of my laptop's worth, and I was like, "Oh,
$4,000.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I got this for like 1,700, and like to get the same thing, but with a 30 series graphics card in it.
good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I suppose if you're going to get a 30 series card in a pre-built computer is pretty much the only way you're going to have that happen. So.
Yeah, well, and I'm a laptop guy anyway. Like I need portability. So.
Yes, I don't. People keep telling me to get a laptop, but perhaps if I eventually become a VTuber, I will have to separate its personality from my own, and I will do that by buying a completely separate computer and never referencing APGamingREAL ever at any point. Because as we know, separating V2... Never mind, you guys won't get the joke. Lawson isn't here, so there's no one here who's going to get the joke I was going to make. You know, they say as a comedian you should know your audience. The second thing they say is you should actually be funny. I don't think I am operating this device correctly.
I've never used that bell wrapper before. I think it's the arm at the front. I think you're coming at it the wrong side.
Well, I tried coming at it from the front side, and it didn't work earlier. I shall try
get to
again.
That red part of the arm. I'm so close to this last bale. Need 99%.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I see. This is how we are to be. We'll operate like this, my friend. Well, audience, how are you tonight? It's odd. For some reason, playing this game makes me tired. I haven't gone to sleep before 4 a.m. in like a week and a half. And playing this game now at 9:30 in the evening. I'm like, man, I'm kind of tired, actually. It's the soothingness of this game. It soothes the soul. Oh, yes. Yes, this is how it works.
Oh, I see what.
It's like Spider-Man. Or like Shelob, the giant spider / ancient beast, Lord of the Rings. Oh, you're not a Shelob fan, are you?
No, it's just find your reference funny. Have you got to unload?
I'm turning automatic unload off. Dreading going back to work. Well, it's true. Few people actually like going to work, but I bet that you like money. Because I like money too. I'm not saying that everyone likes money, but I bet you like getting paid. So do your best, you know? Because it doesn't matter where you work, it's probably all going to suck. It's not been great. But maybe we'll get through this together, all of us. I hope so. What about you, Sun Spirit? You're ready to hate going back to work, right?
Oh, I definitely hate going back to work.
You're really a... Yeah, I peg you as a guy who hates working. And I don't know if it's because you hate the place you work at, or if you just hate work in general.
In this case, it's definitely the place I work at.
All right. It's a good thing you haven't shared any details about your real life or where you work at.
Yep.
I'll tell you who hates working. Eric Vulgaris. Not where he works at. He just hates work in general. Oh! Oh no! Oh! Oh, I'm going to need help. I'm going to need a lot of help.
You done?
You don't like money, you like what the money lets you do? Very well. That's a good phrase, too. You mind if I steal that one? What have I done? I hit all 4 of the bales at once, and in the process of trying to pick one bale, it rolled me over. So I'm now upside down with no way to not be upside down. I wouldn't call that a shucky-ducky situation, but not bad. Thank you for the bits, friend.
It did escalate very quickly.
It did. I didn't really have any way to control it. So, is someone heading over here with a forklift, or should I just do that myself?
I'm going.
I'm just gonna hit you, and we'll just see what.
Ah, excellent. Yep, that did not work at all. You completely missed me. You hit the back end, but you can miss the tractor, which is.
Where's the green? Are you on that? No. Where's the green tractor? Oh, you got it? Right,
yep.
Yeah. I might pick up the baler.
Just know that we have like 9 people watching me turtle over here.
Huh?
Oh.
Gotcha.
Or did you? Did you though? Did you?
Oh, alright. Jesus.
You're gonna need to hit me again to get me off of the green bale.
Oh, no.
You're right. I will need workers' comp after this industrial accident. I really should not have been in the vehicle when he was doing that.
Look. Send it has been.
That's true. You do sound like the youth.
Multiple times in our workplace meetings. What question? Does Perkins Farms supply Folgers coffee to start my day?
I have to tell you,
you
may know this, but I don't drink coffee, so I probably get whatever the cheapest non-brand name instant coffee is.
I think that's Folgers.
At Costco.
I said non-brand name. Yeah, Costco for sure.
Yeah,
I would get Costco coffee.
You get Costco coffee, but it's also in like if you took the Folgers packaging and you took their label off it, it's the same orangey, brown, red container,
Perfect.
But now it's just got Costco screen printed on it.
Well, Kirkland, which is Costco's brand, does good stuff.
Hey, man.
I like their pizzas. It's acceptable. The crust is actually horrible. I would rate the crust as being actual garbage trash. But every other part of the pizza is great. The problem is that the Kirkland thin crust pizzas, the crust is too thin for the material it's made out of, so in order to fully cook the pizza, the crust becomes solid block of nothingness. Not great. It's bad planning on their part. You can try to alleviate it slightly if you brush it with olive oil, but Oh, having a K-cup maker? That does sound like more suffering, so yes, the company would probably provide a K-cup maker with generic off-brand K-cups and encourage you to bring your own.
And then there's 10 of us all turning up at the same time trying to use the same machine.
Yes, perfect.
Like, all right, start the
Perfect.
meeting.
And then you get one of those errors
Going
where
up.
the machine locks up because you've used a off-brand.
Oh
Yes.
no,
Yes.
no, the pain.
So, I don't know that much about coffee, but let me tell you how my mom drinks her coffee. And she has been for years. Before the Podsworth thing, she still made coffee this way. She drinks strong, black, regular coffee into which she pours half of a cup. So half of the container that she's about to drink in of hot water to thin the coffee out, and adds nothing to it. No milk, no sugar, no cream, no flavoring of any kind. Half water, half strong black coffee. I don't know if that has a name or anything, but that's just how she drinks her coffee.
As in, like, she's having a long black, like it's an espresso or a double espresso shot that she then adds.
There's no espressoing involved. It's literally just a pot of fresh black dark coffee, which is poured into a cup, and then half of the cup is filled with hot water.
Ah, so she's just having a week-long black.
Yes, I don't know what that means, but let's say yes.
Yeah. Look, long black is, something that gets drunk over here in Australia fairly recent. It definitely does happen. It's happening more now as people become more, enamored with different coffee making processes. French pressing and all that biz. But I do love my
yes.
thermo press. This is this weird bale. Found it. I don't know how that bale got made a different size.
I don't know. It has nothing to do with me. I blame somebody else.
Actually, I am going to blame somebody else, and I'll tell you why. It's because that bale had already been started at that size, and once you start a size, you can't change the size of a bale. So you got to finish that bale at whatever size it was, and that was at the 180 instead of 220, which is the maximum size we can wrap. We can't wrap 240s, which is the biggest one that baler can do.
Very well. I'm going to take my company mandated break to drink some water real quick.
So out of a leaf out of your book, I decided that I'm going to drink 120 ounces of water a day. I converted that to ounces for you, my man.
I appreciate that. Liters would have been fine, though.
Listeners.
I drink 4 liters of water a day. And I didn't convert that for you. I just use liter water bottles.
Because a 10 system is just better.
It's questionable. I do agree that the metric system is better, but not for the reasons that you or Sunspirit believe. I believe it's better because it's disassociated itself from the idea of weight, which means it can be used more readily for different gravitational.
Now, there's 2 places silage can go. You can go to the animal farm or the bio plant, and we might as well drive it there and dump it just outside of the pay zone. And then when the money's good, you can just go push it in. Because what month are we in right now?
September.
We're in September,
Yes.
which is the solid should be going up in price, and it'll need 24 hours to cook off anyway. Yeah, 350 is a good sell price. They've played with the numbers in the last couple of updates. Used to want to try and get closer to 400, but I've never seen it get up there during the last lots of. Because we're playing at medium difficulty, aren't we? Or,
I have no idea.
must be medium prices look like.
All right, break's over. Everyone back to work. Let's see what there is to do.
Man, I'm just gonna take it straight to the biogas. Crisis.
Our cows
two
seem to be
biogas.
becoming healthy.
That's that's good.
And we have
I
a...
did freak out when they sleep lying down. I was like, "Oh my god, is everything dying? This is like the beavers all over again." Who's paying attention to this?
We have a bait. First off, don't mention the beavers to me. How dare you? How dare you?
Throw that in my face.
I did my best, and I may not have been paying the fullest level of attention. I feel like during Timberborn, I spent a lot of time getting, not blind, but what's it called? When you get locked into doing one thing, and you miss out on all the other things?
Micromanaging?
No. I mean, I definitely do that, but...
Well, you lost situational awareness.
Yes, well, I definitely did.
Tunnel vision?
Yes.
Tunneling?
I tunneled, for sure, thank you, on that situation, and it did not work well for me. That said... Don't you dare bring those beavers up to me. I did my best with what I had to bring life, liberty, and the pursuit of wood to them. And in the end, I did not ever manage to get the water pulse under control, but I did manage to stabilize the water levels and bring peace and prosperity and unlock the Ironborn. So you know what? You can suck it. Those beavers were happy. Yes, they may have lost grandparents, but they were happy. Every beaver has their day.
I do really like the way the square bales stack. They just look more impressive.
AI worker.
What's going on there?
We have a slight problem, gentlemen. We currently have a contract to bale Field 13. Field 13 has no grass on it.
The silage is cooking off. That's where we're at with it.
Oh, I understand. Someone has left it at the biogas plant?
It is not a biogas plant. It's behind the chicken coop. We have 4 bales there that are this
Alright,
job.
well, it needs to be dropped at the biogas plant later, but it's a problem for someone else. I feel like a right fool for driving out here with all of my equipment, but...
You're... Oh, it's got kicked out, hang on.
Yes, you did. And you can just say,
it,
but you are a right fool, because that would be proper.
I thought when you do a... You want to check those bales? So I thought when you did a baling contract, it automatically converts the silage. Like, you don't have to wait the 24 hours, it just happens.
They're at 3%.
Are they?
Very well.
All right. You might want to consider, like, we may need to bump up time. Otherwise, it will literally take a year for us to get to harvesting our stuff.
Yes, I mean, we've finished all of our current tasks right now, right? The contracts are all done.
Yes.
Everything has been fertilized. The trees are out of the way. As soon as I've dropped off this motor, this grass-cutting motor, I will indeed turn the time up.
Did anybody play Horizon Zero Dawn?
I have played Horizon Zero Dawn, and I enjoyed it greatly. I don't think I'm going to play Horizon 2.
Oh no, why? That's why.
The end of Horizon Zero Dawn got pretty repetitive.
As in the
mechanics of it. The storyline was fine.
Yeah.
Our insurance?
Yeah.
No, chat. Our insurance is awful, actually. They got tired of us slamming into other vehicles all the time. Yes. Tell me of the waters of your homeworld, Usul. What was your experience with HZD?
I really enjoyed it. Like, yes, I agree that the end seemed a bit long in the tooth. But I am a classic side quester and collector.
Yes. I completed every side quest before I even got anywhere close to doing the storyline, so the story ended very quickly for me, all at once.
Yeah.
I believe there was a quest to go to some tower in like the northeast side of the map, and they were like, no one's ever been there before, but in fact, I had already been there and got all the teleport ports for it, so it was very easy. I feel like the hardware is definitely going to serve Horizon Zero Dawn well. Oh, sorry, I think we cut over each other. Maybe I'm lagging.
No, it was me. Sorry, I switched earbuds and it did some wacky things.
I see. I like Horizon Zero Dawn, and it was also very unusual to be the object of male pursuit for all of the people trying to flirt with Aloy.
Yeah, and I thought her character reactions to all of that was really good. I just thought she was like a really good heroine character. In fact, It was the heroine character that I feel that a lot of everybody, a lot of other people who have tried to do that, both in film and TV and all that stuff, and video games like that. They should all go and play that game and go, that's, I think, what you were trying to do.
Well, all I can say is that none of those guys had game. And I can tell because I was nodding along whenever they did something, and I thought, I've tried that before. You like that joke? No, I never did any of the things they did. They definitely don't have game, but don't get me wrong, neither do I.
That was good.
Yes, that was a good joke. We all enjoyed it. Even Sunspirit. And he doesn't enjoy anything.
It's a classic Grinch.
I showed him ice cream once, and he asked me what that frozen sugar milk was doing in front of him. Nothing, Sunspirit? Nothing?
Nope.
All right.
Sounds like one of my reactions.
It's an accurate portrayal of you, even though I just made it up on the spot and it was a total lie. Okay. I do like accurately portraying people.
You've actually encapsulated his thoughts of ice cream in that moment without even having to ever ask him.
Well, it's easy. I just think, would he hate this? The answer is yes.
More often than not.
I mean, it doesn't matter what I'm asking. He's just going to hate it, of course. All right. Time is now being kicked up to 240 times. That means for every minute that passes, 2 hours will pass.
Just keep an eye on our...
Now, just know you get to take your 5-minute break during this. Yeah, there's the rain. Wake me up when September ends. Do you remember the 21st of September? Do you? I'm asking, do you remember the 21st of September? It's a holiday. Nobody knows what holiday it is?
I mean, the only reference I tend to think of is the one from V from vendetta with.
I mean, the 21st of September is International Peace Day, I believe.
It's not the 11th. Oh, I was thinking of Remembrance Day, but that's the 11th.
It's also Australian.
I'm pretty sure all Commonwealth
All right, it's Commonwealth,
observe
which
Remembrance
means
Day.
that while 100 countries might celebrate it, the rest of the world doesn't. Not everyone was conquered by Britain. I know it's
stuff like that.
I know it's tough, but not everyone was conquered by Britain. And some of us, when we left Britain, were so mad that we got rid of most of their holidays but kept all their laws. Don't worry about me. I'm just mad because you guys have better money than we do. I don't mean it's worth more. I just mean that the Canadian dollar bills are all fucking sick as hell. Australia's isn't bad either.
Oh, we've had an update on some of ours. It's like they put an Instagram filter over them. They pop now. They really do pop.
I don't know about this popping. I know nothing about it. For one thing, I don't know anything about Instagram. You were mentioning Facebook Messenger earlier, and I was confused because I haven't used Facebook in years. I guess it's like a text messaging through Facebook, which means it's evil.
Oh boy, I just realized we have
Yes?
a lot of tomatoes that need to be taken care of now.
Should I be slowing down time?
No, you're good.
Very
It's
well.
gonna be a while once we're here.
Can you pick them up? Like, are they
Nope.
light enough to pick up? No,
They're
no,
too heavy
yeah.
now.
You think? I know you don't want to do like load stuff in, because it means then people need to load in the mod. Like, you don't want to do mods, but I could highly recommend to you the auto loader mod, so that pallets just automatically load onto the trailer.
I'm not
And
opposed to mods. It's just that there really weren't any when the game came out. We can definitely put a pinned comment. We had mods on the last one.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
But I would definitely recommend we get the auto loader just purely to deal with pallets, because otherwise it is, now that they've made it that you can't lift them anymore, you have to use equipment, it's a freaking nightmare.
either that or super strength. Super strength would also work.
Why not both?
I mean, they're both. If you have the auto loading, you don't need the super strength.
All right. It is now a new day.
Unless you're going to do
Yep.
timber and stuff.
Take a look at the fields here and see how they're doing.
Soy needs to be harvested.
Soy needs to be harvested. Are we sure about that?
Yes.
Where do we see that calendar? It is soy and sunflowers and corn. Do we have any corn? I feel like we did.
We do have a single little thing in the farmer's plot where you start out.
We have a corn header, correct? Somewhere?
I think so. I think Spoon take care of that.
Well, Mr.
did we
Spoon
actually
isn't here
get
because he has to work tomorrow.
Sorry, is it actually showing as ready for harvest, or it's just the harvesting season is today and tomorrow?
For harvest.
Okay, cool.
I don't believe we can until the rain stops, though.
That's correct, but I'm going to go look for...
No, you can do it. You just take like a 25% hit, so we won't do it.
Okay.
That sounds bad. Corn header. Show on map. Let's see, I'm going to go pick the corn header up now. And then I'm going to look menacingly over the field. Darkly menacing. Are you driving through your own crops?
It's grass.
Oh, yeah. Grass is very drive-onable. The audience has posited that we use MySpace for our website. I would have gone with Squarespace. It's super generic, just like Perkins Farms. I'm now realizing that this header is not used by a tractor. It's been so long since I have played this game, I have forgotten. I will need the John Deere tractor harvester, combine harvester. Thank you. We got there.
Oh no, fermenting. Yeah. Still.
How fermented are they?
What?
75.
Good.
Oh, you know what's happened?
What?
What has happened?
When somebody went up there to do the contract, they already had grass in the baler that was our grass, and so then they've picked up a bunch of a contract grass, and so that bale was started as our grass, which means it will ferment at normal time. But if you look at the other 3 bales, which was all grass from the contract, they are all silage. Like I said, they turn to silage straight away. But if you've got some of your grass in there and you started with your grass, then yeah. Which is why this one's at 33 and the other ones are all finished. That's cool.
I mean, we can probably still pick it up and go and sell it. I do believe the last one won't be taken, right?
Well, no, because I think they still take grass at that one. So you'd have to take the 3 that are silage and put it in and see how much you... Man, we'll just wait. We'll just wait another 12 hours and it'll be ready. No biggie.
I don't understand what mistake was made. I'm just glad that this one wasn't my fault. Like leasing equipment.
But we don't know that. Maybe
know
you were
it.
the one that took it up there.
I was not involved in that particular escapade. I mean, it's true. You may not know that, except for the fact that I record everything I do in this particular game. So, you know, there would be a record of me doing it, and I didn't.
We've only got 1 corn header, yeah? So I'll take the other harvester and get it ready to go over the...
Soybean town.
Soybean. Yup.
Well, I'll tell you what, friends. There's 10 kills on the board right now, and I just wiped out Tomato Town. Do we own Field 52? We do. It's also soy. It's the one by the greenhouses, and it will also need to be harvested later. We have sugar beet. Whatever this is. What is in Field 48? Barley.
Oh, we only got 1 lot of fertilizing on this.
Yes, that was because we didn't plant it. The sugar beet will also need to be harvested as well.
Do we have the equipment for that?
No, but we can probably lease it to do another contract around.
Let's wait until we have some money before we discuss that particular thing.
I meant more as in take a contract to do beets, loan their equipment, and from there use it.
You can't use loaned equipment on fields that aren't paid.
Yeah. That aren't contract fields. So you can bounce equipment from one contract to the next, but you can't use it on your own fields. So we would still have to hire. But we can take a contract for the purpose of making then money to pay for the leasing of our own equipment.
Let's take a look at what a sugar beet harvester costs.
Too much.
A lot, like $500,000 minimum.
What the fuck?
Yep, Potatoes, same way.
Yeah.
Unless you find
Yeah,
one on
good.
sale.
There is one on sale at the moment, but it's only 30% off, and it's still 400,000. How much do you hate tomatoes right now?
Pretty much. Pretty much. They're
Yeah.
terrible at the moment.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, I just leave it until our next game, and we'll either load on super strength or an autoloader trailer. You're just gonna drive yourself insane. I mean, unless you're into that kind of stuff, in which case, everybody to each their own.
I wonder how much that's worth. Probably not even. Probably not a lot.
$100. We've got some grass ready for mowing as well down in our actual grass field.
Mm-hmm.
Any issues? I don't know if you mow grass in the rain, whether that affects your output.
What am I looking for to harvest the sugar beets?
You need something to cut the heads off, and then you need something to harvest the actual field.
Yes, but
How big's the field?
It's pretty small.
Then you can probably get away with the smallest one. The only thing is, I hate that one because it's like an offside digger. Like the trailer sits off to like a 45-degree angle to the.
There's a Beet
tractor.
technology thing that you should be able to see there.
Yes, I finally made it there. We've got one for 24 that cuts the beets. And then we'll have to get the harvester for 54. So we're looking at 78,500.
Sounds expensive. How much for leasing said equipment?
No idea. I'm kicking time up right now.
All right.
It occurs to me this rain isn't going to go away on its own. What I'm saying is, let the rain fall. I'm coming clean. Like that Hillary Duff song. How's my fake accent going, by the way?
You practicing accents?
I am
later?
practicing, not for a game. I'm trying to go for like a deeper tone, you know?
Did you read something about deeper tones being better?
No, I just wanted it. All right, I'm going to do my impression of Chris Pratt doing an impression of Thor Odinson. That's right. This is my vessel, for we all know who is captain. I feel like you've talked around telling me what you thought of my accent, which makes me think you're trying not to tell me because you don't like it. And that's okay. I'm working on it, like one would work on art or a program. Or themselves. This car's probably very mad at me right now.
Oh, yeah, probably is.
Well, it's only because I trapped him there for like an hour. I told him he could just go around, but he stared at me as if he was some sort of NPC. Well, let me ask the two of you. Do you feel like in your interactions with me today that I have been significantly less bitter? All right, no quick answer there.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much. I don't know how much. Whether I would have described you as bitter before.
Really? Not bitter?
Necessarily.
Angry? Holding on to grudges? All right. It's time. Unfold the header. Oh, I see. I've made a mistake.
What have you done?
I didn't realize how wide the head was. It's twice as wide as I thought it was because it was
Folded.
Folded.
Why is this not harvesting the corn?
Did you lower it? Did you start it?
I did start it. It does appear to be lowered.
Yeah,
I don't appear to be affecting this field in any way, actually. It says that it is turned on. I am not harvesting. This is the cornfield, yes?
Should be.
Looks
Have you
like
looked
corn.
on the actual thing if it says it's
Oh,
alright?
that's yeah, that's not ready, man. It's still green. It's still growing.
My God.
The corn.
Well,
Wait, are you supposed to?
I have definitely destroyed part of a field of corn. All right.
Yeah, you might as well drop that, leave that head there, and go back and grab your head.
Yes.
And we'll start this harvest of soybeans.
So hold on a second. I'm gonna have to fold the head if I want to leave here without destroying more crop. All right, from the map, how do I tell when something's ready to harvest?
So so go to your, looking at the world map, the top one, not the helpers. Yep, and then scroll through your filters till you get to the,
Oh yes, I see now.
so stay at the top one.
There it is.
Okay, so I'm trying to watch the Twitch. I think I'm behind.
You are, but don't worry about it. 52 that we need to be worried about. And it is
So you're
ready to harvest.
jump in the truck, which I believe has been fixed, and now it actually drives properly. America.
America. Fortune cookies are an American invention.
Just let us know when to do a dump out.
Well, it would seem right now I'm a menace to society. That's okay, I always knew it would come back around to get me. My menacingness. Well, look at that. I'm finally on a job, working successfully, making money for the company. It only took 2 hours, almost exactly 2 hours and 40 seconds. I'm a corporate champion right here.
Huzzah.
Well, I'll tell you, one of my New Year's goals this year, not a New Year's goal specifically, just something I want to do this year, is of course, as always, I'd like to run a mega game. If we could get 40 people together for about 8 hours on a day, I definitely believe that mega games can be run through the internet, and we can prove it. I am hitting something that's been left in this field. It looks like an orange box.
That's tomatoes, probably.
All right, we need to get the tomatoes out of the actual field.
We're not able to because they are into said geometry.
Oh, yeah. So when you use the autoloader, it will suck those things out of the ground that are stuck.
But they're now too heavy for us to pick up. So how are we supposed to pick them up?
No, you can't. It's like they've. Is this the glitch where they're stuck in the ground?
I see.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. But the autoloaders can break that glitch and pick them up. I know because I had like a good 5 or 6 lettuce landmines next to my that I had to like weave in and out of when I was trying to get in and out of my greenhouses.
I like the idea of lettuce landmines.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
The lettuce is not what kills you, it's the vinaigrette.
Wow, why do you have to talk so much shit about vinaigrette?
It knows.
What does it know? It's vinaigrette. It's an inanimate object.
Now it is.
How you doing there? How's that hopper going?
54.
Rog. I'm just over here mowing our grass in the bottom field. So if you're going to do this mega game, what game would you play instead of mega game?
Well, the most Australian mega game that there is. Watch the Skies. Do you know of Shut Up and Sit Down? No?
No.
Never heard of them? They're an Australian mega gaming group. They're the ones who got me into mega gaming. And they have very famously played Shut Up and Sit, or played Watch the Skies twice, and it has been excellent. The Prime Minister is so you play as the members of a country, and both times they played as Japan, and the guy that leads their group played as the Prime Minister, and his job apparently was to make the lives of everyone else in the group harder. He did a great job. Everyone from
You sit there and
Quins down just tried to do their best. So you play as regular countries in what's essentially a model UN situation, and then aliens appear, and war begins breaking out, and there's a question of who can you trust. It's the XCOM style gray market of undercover trade of alien artifacts, and even the aliens themselves will attempt to communicate with world leaders directly, try to convince them to sway events, and by the end of, I believe, Watch the Skies 7 hours, you see where you stand, whether there is war or peace. In the second Watch the Skies, you have additional objectives, like Japan has to be more technologically advanced than China. They also have to host the 2020 Olympics. It should be noted that when Watch the Skies was filmed, it was about 5 years ago, so the 2020 Olympics were definitely a thing that were going to happen. Those are the mega games: Zombie Outbreak, Sengoku, which is like Watch the Skies, but instead of aliens, you're samurai fighting each other. Chat.
Did James play one of these?
I have no idea. I've never talked to James about Mega Gaming, but given that he is a convention hound, I would not be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a convention game that like went LARP-esque or something that like moved from convention to convention, and then because I'm sure he was playing England or something like that, Prime Minister of England, and then somebody had to step in for him for a convention and like completely fucked up everything. That he
Oh,
was
I
trying to
remember
set
this.
up.
He said this one time, yes.
What was that? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what game it was, but I do recall having this conversation with him.
Yeah.
Well, there's deer all over the property, which has been somewhat daunting.
Well, I've tried. You definitely can't hit them.
Well, it's because you've got to stop trying to hit me and hit me. All right, I've managed to save your tomato crate. It is no longer in the field. I use the power of science and physics to solve my problems. Because I am an engineer. Could Robotech be run as a mega game? Well, I believe the answer to that is yes. However, someone would need to write that system. And it would not be me. I think I'm done writing my own RPGs for a while. Has not gone well.
Could you just use Watch the Sky and just reskin the factions?
I suppose.
It's basically the same plot, right? Except you've got a giant Macross.
I'm pretty sure in Macross, all of the world is united behind some sort of UN type deal, isn't it? That's who funds the giant super robot. Am I wrong about this?
The giant super robot crash lands, and I
yes,
think
but
you're
it's
right
crewed by UN members, right?
I think you're correct.
Yes. So the world is united behind the super United Nations.
Yes, but all you have to do is basically say that they're not actually as united. They're like the real UN.
You definitely could do it, but it would take some stretching, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, give some factions the ability to just ignore what everybody just said.
Kind of like a veto power in the UN.
Yeah. Like a really useful way of fucking completely, making redundant the idea of, I don't know, democracy or group decision.
So the thing to know about the UN is that it is designed intentionally to fail. You know what? This is going to go way too political for new me, so I'm going to step away from it. Just know the United Nations is working as intended, and that's fine. This is where it's supposed to be.
Same with the, what's the name, commerce? The international commerce thing?
You mean the World Trade Organization?
Yes, that.
Also works as intended.
Yep.
The last thing I will say is that both of these organizations are intended to do as little as possible, except make sure everybody's talking to each other instead of shooting. We live in the literal most peaceful time humanity has enjoyed since the Iron Age. And I know it might be difficult to imagine because so many people die, but it's still not even population-wise. I'm not even talking percentage-wise, it's just less people die overall. The death rate 70 years ago was very high. Pre-World War II, it was insane. All right, I have a question. Can I unload from a harvester directly into one of the silos?
Yeah, you can. You can just pipe out.
Perfect.
You can pipe out.
I'm gonna go store this corn since it probably is not a good time to sell it.
Your only issue is whether, because if it's a covered silo, like you got to drive in through a tunnel, then you're probably not gonna be able to get your.
I can just drop the header though, right?
Out. Yeah, but your pipe swings out, yeah?
Oh, yes, I understand.
If you're inside of a tunnel.
Well, I can just wait over here for someone to come pick the corn out of me and then drive it in.
Yeah.
There is a mega game for Battletech, by the way, Devious Nightmare. You don't need to wait for me to design it. It actually already exists. It's called Inner Sphere at War. You can find it in BattleTech Interstellar Operations.
So in this case, does since there's like what 5 major factions, like what's going on with because I'm guessing you have multiple of those, but we're talking about a game that has like what 50-ish people involved.
Well, a mega game typically has 20 or more. So the thing is that you can subdivide control, right? It's not explicitly mentioned in the rules, but you could literally divide up each of the countries into their own subsections, right? The Federated Suns has the Crucius March, the Terra March, the Draconis March, the Capellan March, right? It has all of these sub areas. Each of the factions has that as well towards each other. And so you could have each person take command of 40 planets. And they'd all be working not exactly together, which is pretty much how the BattleTech universe works. Everyone has their own individual goals and aren't necessarily working together.
Like instead of aliens in this case, it's the clans coming in, right?
I suppose that's true. And I go pipe out.
Hey man,
No, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Piping in before a disaster happens. I don't want to be trapped in this cattle hole forever.
Man, this B dub is big.
The double truck?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's nice, isn't it?
Ooh, what a truck.
So beyond mega games, I'd like to run a D&D 5th edition version. Perhaps not using the mechanics, but using the world of Maximum X-Crawl. Now that I've proven that gladiatorial games will work and are popular, I feel like it's time to finally do Dungeons and Dragons gladiatorial dungeon running. I'm going to go absolutely apeshit buck wild.
So
No
it's
one's clapping or
run?
cheering, but just know in your hearts you should be like, holy shit, Arthur, that's an amazing idea, you're a genius.
I have no idea what X-Crawl is.
Oh, sir. How much time do you have?
About an hour 40.
Like an hour and 42 minutes, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
How specific? Well, let me tell you, do you need me to move or are you moving? Alright, my pipe's out for whenever, something happens. Just let me know if you need me to move. Oh, there it is. Alright. I want you to imagine, if you would, America. But not the America you know. America is a country run by Emperor Ronald Reagan. Yes, the modern day era has Emperor Ronald Reagan. In an almost Shadowrun-esque turn of events, all of the old races began appearing right around 1776. Samuel Adams, a human? Laughable. He's an elf, and he still runs the same brewery he did when he declared independence from England. Yes, the whole world is filled with dungeons, but also dragons. And the dragons are so powerful, they control anything that isn't a gigantic city. Trying to go from Houston to Los Angeles? Forget about it, unless you have a specific anti-dragon transport bus, which has properly bribed every dragon on the way there, and is filled with dozens and... Oh, do we have a problem here? Let me move out of the way. There you go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is filled with anti-dragon weaponry.
I didn't want to stop you.
No, please, continue. Now you might be thinking, that's pretty cool, right? But what does that have to do with Dungeons and Dragons? It's an interesting setting. Well, my friends, there was once a sword, and you might be thinking, what's so important about a sword? This was an intelligent talking sword. One day it was found by a professor of archaeology, and they couldn't get the sword to shut up. But it was dope as fuck. The sword was like, listen guys, back in the day, there used to be these things called dungeons, and it was like, oh, dungeons, what is that? And he began describing The old ancient world that people forgot before they were elves and shit. And then they became humans and then they became elves again. You know, Shadowrun ass shit. So anyway, he's describing how the old world worked, you know, when magic items were around. And then the dragons were like, you know what? This sounds pretty dope. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna make a dungeon, and then I'm gonna install a bunch of television cameras in it, and you can come and die in it. And everyone was like, that's a terrible idea, I don't want to die. And Emperor Ronald Reagan was like, wait a second, this would be a great way to get rid of prisoners because I don't like prisoners. And so it eventually became a professional sport / television program where people from every nation, and indeed, depending on how you want to run it, it also takes place on multiple planes and multiple worlds as you travel between them.
So it's basically American Gladiator.
It is American Gladiator, yes. So you have to chiggity check yourself. My soundboard is not working right now. There we go. Sorry, I'm pressing the soundboard. I don't know if it's working.
Yeah, it is.
Because the dungeon jockeys are in the house. You might be thinking to yourself, Arthur, what is a dungeon jockey? What a very specific term. Well, the answer to that question, what is a dungeon jockey, is a person who assembles a sports theme arena for dungeon running. And you're like, whoa, that sounds pretty cool. Run by dragons, mad wizards, professional bureaucrats. These dungeons are multi-room attempts. Every time you clear a room, you get an item within that room that you carry with you, not only through that dungeon run, but through the rest of all of your runs that season. Yes, any equipment you use, you have to pick up in the runs themselves. But in between those runs, you have to self-promote. You have to get out there, advertise your runs, spread your business, make your team more appealing, get soda sponsorships. Maximum X Crawl is American Gladiators if it was Dungeons and Dragons. And the setting seems so dope to me. Whether you're a political prisoner trying to get a pardon, or whether you're a professional athlete just trying to make it in a world of rogues. There is an X and there is a crawl. I don't know if you guys like my my little spiel there, but it's pretty canon, pretty close to how things actually go.
Reminds me a lot of Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl?
Yes.
Sorry, I still had it open, so I decided to hit the button.
Yeah, as in like a setting where, you know, you can have a team of undead going playing football against a team of orcs.
Oh.
And then fighting a team of dwarves.
I just noticed we don't need to get those sugar beets because they're not on our property.
Good.
I'm so dumb. Alright, I'm gonna park this harvester here. It's time to... This looks like someone was mowing with this thing, so I'll find another tractor. We mulch before we plow, correct?
Yeah, you put the mulcher. Well, you can cultivate now if we don't need to plow.
Right, but you have to mulch before you cultivate, right? Yes.
Yep.
We do have a mulcher,
Correct.
so I'll go find it. Nightmare, I'm glad to hear that you're playing MechWarrior 5 in some ways. MechWarrior is an amazing series. 5 is not that good compared to some of the other games. 2 Mercenaries, 3 and 4 are all considered to be excellent. And they have very good... Oh, we have to roll at some point as well after we replant. Yes, that is a good point. I hadn't thought of that, but the seasons are roguelike. So when you get a potion of healing, you really want to hang on to it as long as you can, you know, right up until you're dead. All right, let's see here. What am I looking for? A mulcher. No, I'm looking for the mulchers we own. These are mulchers we own. Interesting. I don't really know why we have 2 mulchers, but okay. I probably did something stupid. You know, it
No,
is
there
nice
was one
not
that you could hook
constantly
up to the-
being in poverty, though. You know, well, maybe we're in poverty, but at least we're not negative. How about that? All right, this mulcher is way too heavy for this machine to use. Maybe I can do it from the backside. No. That's true. If you have a PS4, you will only have a limited number of options for mech games. Does anyone know any good PS4 mech games? Beyond Mech Warrior 5?
I've been PC only for years.
I am also in that camp. Alright, I'm gonna have to get the big blue one.
I mean, if he enjoys pain, Mega Mech can run on next to everything.
Well, I think he'll need a PC for that, right?
Well, I'm seeing that he's online in your stream right now. Which
Yes, but
means
he's
probably
online
has
using a
way.
PS4.
Oh, is he? I
Yeah.
don't know then.
You know, that reminds me, I have to go attach my PS4 and my Xbox 360 to a monitor somewhere and find some open plugs and wipe them both. I was thinking of giving them away, you know, to like kids in need and shit. I haven't used the Xbox 360 in years. Let's put it this way, the last time I used the Xbox 360, I think, was the day I started streaming. Joke, joke, joke. So that was almost 8 years ago, 7.5 perhaps. And I really only used it to play Destiny with my friends who had Xboxes. It was the only reason I bought an Xbox. So I had 2 Destiny accounts. It was such a pain in the ass and a huge waste of money. So my Xbox friends basically quit the game almost immediately.
Yeah, I understand.
That's how you know, guys. You can only trust friends who have PlayStations. Sometimes I am not funny. I don't know whether that was an in-game sound or whether one of you made that.
That inward grunt.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Okay. All right. Fine. I won't take it personally.
Not as personally as when Pondo brought out the cricket soundboard, right?
What cricket soundboard?
Yeah, that one.
I mean, I took it pretty personally lately when someone called me a clout chaser.
I have no idea what cloud is.
Clout? You know, clout, it's like, you know a lot of people, so you're very important.
Gotcha.
Instagram famous, how about that?
Right.
I said that, would
Internet
that make more
famous.
sense? Yeah. So someone accused me of being a clout chaser. That hurt. Maybe it's true. I mean, what I really want is to run weird tabletop RPG campaigns to show that it can be done. You know, I want to run Watch the Skies, Sengoku, Zombie Outbreak, but I also want to run something like the Game of Thrones RPG again. Not for the RPG part, but for the house creation and war part, which everyone agrees is literally the best part of the game. I want to make tabletop RPG games where people get excited about 30 pages of background lore that the players don't give a shit about, but hundreds of people might actually sit on a wiki and read for 5 hours and then go, wow, that was brilliant, Arthur. You really put the work in there. Because, I mean, I do that work, just no one says that phrase that I want to hear. And, like, more games where the audience can get involved. A little bit like Jackbox, where they can just be like, first off, is this actually mulching? Doesn't look like I'm doing anything here.
I don't know. Does the texture change at all?
Not really.
Uh,
Oh, I can see it is
which
doing
field, Lon?
something. I'm in field 52. I can see it's doing something. I'll have to come back and plow later. So the actual texture isn't changing. Maybe it's because of the light level. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you are definitely melting. I just checked on the map. It's showing.
It's just difficult to tell. I'd like to run another game like Winter's Edge where the audience gets really involved and their democratic participation helps push forward the goals of the players. And, you know, I want you to know how much it took for me to say out loud that I'd like to run another Winter's Edge game, since I have long considered Winter's Edge to be the #1 failure of my streaming career. It's now #2. Dawn Agreement will now be the #1, but only because enough time has passed that I've forgiven myself for letting people walk all over me during Winter's Edge. Also, all the people that used to play Winter's Edge and were involved have all left the community. Bunch of fucking liars. Yep, there it is. The bitterness is back. What am I at? 3 hours now? All right.
Hey man, you gotta remember, you know, we're all a rubber band. You can stretch yourself to be something a little bit different from your normal.
Don't worry, I'm
resting
trying.
state.
I'm not worried about it. I'll get there. It's a process. Just trying to be, if not more family friendly, then more clout chasery. You know, I want to appeal to a broader audience, and they don't really like super bitter people. Also, apparently, if you've ever talked about politics ever, you can't work with any of the top Twitch streamers. So I'm already out of that arena.
Might be for the best for everyone, mate.
Perhaps.
Get this out of the way.
Nightmare, there might be something like that coming out soon on Steam called TRPG Workshop. We should check it out. It's like you can write a computer version of a tabletop RPG like RPG Maker, but you can also play it live with people, but still do like cutscenes and create shops for them to buy stuff in, or random encounters that can be run if you're, you know, going to the bathroom or doing something else at the moment. It's not out yet. They're still working on it, but it should be out soon because it's in the Steam coming soon section. I mean, I think that's what you're saying. And if not, I still want to take a chance to rep for TRPG Workshop because I'm actually hella excited for it. Because the cutscene maker is like visual novel style, so I can finally write that dating TTRPG I've always been wanting to do. No, I can't do that. I've investigated that, and it's not a good idea. Dating TTRPGs will never work. Part of the problem is that everyone wants something different out of the idea of romance. Another problem is it's just weird pretending to have, you know, romantic feelings for each other if you're not really into it. Also, as we previously mentioned, I have game in the same way that you can like negatively have something.
Chris, are you windrowing right now?
I am windrowing. Would you require unpacking, unfilling, and unpuffering?
No, it's done. I was just wondering if I was gonna come up there with the baler.
Yeah, you can come up with the baler. I've even put him in. No, you can. I put it in lovely straight lines, so there'll be no zigzag madness.
I feel like you're saying something about me, but that's okay. I will admit that
I don't like it.
I will admit that I have done some wibble wobbly when I was getting that grass earlier. It didn't help that it was on the side of a hill, you know, so.
No, I get it.
No one has ever accused me of being a functional tractor pilot. Man, hard to believe, but Solaris Night starts again tomorrow after almost a month of being offline.
Excited or dreading it?
We're gonna kick off a weird storyline, this thing. And I wouldn't say I'm dreading it. How do I say this without sounding really bitter?
You're done with BattleTech and you can't wait for it to end.
No, it's not BattleTech specifically. Have I mentioned that recently I've actually been going outside and like walking places?
Yes.
I feel like I did that earlier.
Grass.
Yes. Well, I mean, you know, listen, I can't walk long distances, and when I say I can't walk long distances, what I mean is like more than 100 feet. You know, my heart condition, which apparently has nothing to do with my heart. I had an ECG, and they said that my heart looks surprisingly totally normal. So we still don't know what it is, but maybe it's blood pressure is just so high that it's causing problems.
Fluids around the organs?
Oh, that's definitely my problem, but the medication is supposed to keep it in check, and at the very least it makes me more comfortable. So anyway, you know, I'm just trying to, I would not call walking in 100-foot bursts working out, but staying mobile, heart healthy, that sort of thing. But I'm trying to, I would say burnout is probably the best word for it. I sat down and I was like, I would like to run a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and I wrote that down and I said, what themes do I want in it? And then I just sat there for 2 hours and I had no answers. I'm just a little burned out, just tired. My issues with BattleTech are separate from the burnout. It's corporate decision making. I wish BattleTech was run better. It would run by more moral people, but that isn't going to stop me from finishing BattleTech up. But coming up with new plot lines might be difficult for me at the moment. I'm having trouble coming up with new stuff. Did I manage to get through that without being too depressing? I feel like I did a good job.
Yeah.
Negotiated around some of it. So, you know, I don't have like a plethora of ideas right now. So season 2 is just going to be running out the plot lines we already have, with the exception of the big plot line that's launching tomorrow. Not really a plot line as it is like background news, but it's a pretty big deal. Other than that, you know, I just haven't run BattleTech in almost a month, so I will probably be bad at the rules for the first couple of sessions. Maybe I'll forget to unmute like I do every time I'm in a session with Kane. Endo Steel's going to be back next week as well. That'll be nice. Always a fan of Endo Steel meeting. I think it's one of my best shows. We lost half our viewership. And don't take it personally. It's just, you know, we'd been like 3 months without an episode and people moved on, and I knew that was going to happen. Still one of my biggest shows, even without half its audience, so, you know. We gotta rebuild. We're gonna be back on schedule for a while. That'll be nice. Alright, where's that cultivator at? It'll be pretty close. Why, Sun Spirit? What's your favorite part about BattleTech Solaris Nights, a show that you watch?
I enjoy seeing how Cosmo's gonna fuck up, because he always does.
Well, good news. Cosmo's got an episode this week, I believe. How can you say that that man has fucked up? He performed an excellent proposal like 6 times.
Yeah, he rehearsed it really well.
Yeah. Oh, Chris, that reminds me. James said that you might be on vacation and looking for like shit to do. Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that. I think you might have said yes.
Yep.
Well, look, if you ever want to hit me up, I don't know if you're into like Total Warhammer, or I got a bunch of co-op games and board games, so you know, it's not Sunday night. Just let somebody know, I guess. We got shit we do. I don't really know what you're into beyond Farming Simulator and maybe some BattleTech.
I'm an eclectic
Eclectic.
lover of all things nerd.
All right.
Eclectic. I like to think of myself as a bit of a kaleidoscope.
All right. Well, what? Listen, what's the biggest frame on your kaleidoscope?
Right now, I'll tell you that the scope is turning, and I'm seeing an old frame, which is getting outdoors, getting freedom, getting going hunting, and taking some dudes who over the last couple of years have come to speak to me about hunting and all that sort of stuff.
Let's talk about stuff I can do with you, right? Like computer based.
Yeah.
Since I'm not going to go Australia to go hunting with you, they won't let me bring my guns.
Right.
They won't let me bring me, actually. So.
Well, right now I'm actually hunting. I'm researching, because I'm going to be in the US in May, June. So I'm researching what is in season, because my partner has already told me you need to go find shit to do by yourself because I'm going to be working and stuff like that. So I've been looking at different things to do around the US and what seasons might be open around that time. So,
are you comfortable sharing what general location you'll be in?
Yeah, so Indiana. So my partner's from Indiana. So, but my whole thing is like I've got friends. Well, I mean, I've got friends all over the US. So I'm also going to be like looking for cheap flights and just being like, oh, hey partner, I'm disappearing for 3 days. Where are you going? I was like, I'm going to Oklahoma. Why? Well, I got a friend there. I found a return ticket for like $200. So I'm just going to be gone for like 2 days.
Really? That's interesting. So, I thought cheap flights had basically disappeared in the US.
I mean,
I don't know. Like,
pretty cheap.
We are talking about something that I don't know actually exists right now yet.
Oh yeah. So the thing about the US is that we've started canceling so many flights that the tickets are starting to go up everywhere because, all the added time and safety precautions and the violence against stewards and stewardesses has increased. So like ticket prices are going up. Well, also you have to get negative COVID tests for some airlines. So, then you got to include a 2-hour pre-flight antigen test.
Yeah. Well, these are just thoughts. But as far as like gaming stuff goes, man, like I said, I really enjoyed a lot of different games. I don't have too many mates who like I would do online gaming with per se. It's just because like yourself, I am at an age where people like my friends in inverted commas for a long time just can't jump online and burn 3 hours playing Star Wars Battlefront.
Okay.
It's just not an option for them. So
I like how you tried to compare yourself to me. I appreciate that. Yeah, it really brings me up to your level.
Mate, we're the same age. Like, we're both
that's
like
okay. Yeah. Listen, we might be the same age, but you're a successful military officer who's married.
Well, I'm not married, but I do have a partner.
Sure.
But yeah, no, it's just
listen, just give me my small jokes.
Yeah, man. No, I'm interested in some games around and mechanics and stuff like that. Game mechanics. So if there's something that you're like, played a long time ago, doesn't need anything fresh, man. is something that you're like, this is a cool thing, we can always just do a one night, let's play through a old game.
Well, if you ever
Same
want
old
to join
game.
James and me for trying, we can go do the whole series.
For which one? Which
Trine?
is this the escape one?
Oh, no. I already uninstalled the escape one. We did plenty of escaping. Okay. I don't need to escape anything ever again. I've escaped tons of stuff.
Yeah. Did you like? I watched like one or two, and then I was like really getting annoyed with how quiet James' audio was. Because I
Everyone
like
was saying that.
I half listened to it. Yeah, I half listened to it, and then like whilst doing other things or whatever, and to have two vastly different audio volumes really makes it hard to.
I know, it's weird, but here's the thing. I haven't changed the audio, and right now, you're peeking into the red when you talk, and I'm in the yellow, which means you're slightly louder than me. And it's so weird to me that James and Jim would be so much lower. So weird. I don't know what happened.
Look, my partner and everybody that's known me would not be surprised that I'm peeking into the red.
Yes, but the thing to recognize is that Discord has equalized your volume to the same level as the rest of us. You shouldn't be that much louder than James.
Maybe Salzburst would happen.
I mean, even you are in the low red zone. Soundwave? Or sound... Oh my god. Look, I'm really tired. Did I mention that earlier? Like, at 9:30 I was ready to check out. Alright, I've cultivated that field. I don't know if we want to do anything with it yet, though.
I don't know. It's
No,
complicated.
We can just wait and do like a big mass planting of something that's like big money, like wheat or something down the line, right? Can we just wait 3/4 of a year?
Money.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Sure about that. Or the tubers in general are the better.
Yeah, but we don't have tubering equipment yet, right?
Correct.
Yeah, we don't have that equipment. So
before we tuber,
so I would put forward that if you're doing sunflowers and canola and you buy the oil mill, can you buy the oil mill in the multiplayer game? Can you buy production plants? Yeah.
Not only can we, but we can also just build one ourselves on our own property.
Yeah, it's easier just to
buy it. Sure.
You don't want to take up your own land.
I was definitely gonna buy the own land for the dairy, though.
Yes, for the dairy, yeah, because it just puts everything in the one place.
Yes.
But we're pretty close to the oil mill anyway over here. It's just off to our right from the biogas. But yeah, if we invested the 80,000 into buying that, we can then pretty much triple the price or triple the profit of a crop, because I'm selling canola versus canola oil, you get about 2 to 3 times turnaround.
So you want to plant canola in the places that we're letting lie fallow for right now, okay?
Yeah, canola and if you get about 75,000 liters of canola, that's about how much the oil mill can process in a year, in a calendar year, pretty much from harvest to harvest. So at which point you can then add sunflower to your other crops.
Because it also goes. The last bale, so I can just finish up.
Where is it?
In front of you.
Yeah, same. Directly under your nose. Get in there. Come at it differently.
Now, can we plant corn? No.
Not yet. I think we can plant corn in
January. It's just what Spoon wanted in this particular field, so you know. I want to make sure his field's running the way he wants it to.
That corn header, does it also do
just as corn?
Okay, cool. So we're gonna have to get a sunflower head. That would be investment, but we can definitely do canola to start with. Just do 4 fields of canola. Or 3. I think 3 would be about 70,000 liters if you do all the bonuses. Now 3 larger ones.
Now tell me how many ounces that is. You know, I'm American. I don't know what a liter is. That's a callback.
Leader. Actually, let me stop and drink some of my 64-ounce jug.
Perfect.
All right, where am I taking these silage bales, or soon to be silage?
Just dump them at the biogas plant. I think you can put 50 bales into a sell point in 1 month. So you can just keep putting them there until we get to 50 bales, and then you'll have to start putting them down at the animal.
Well, hopefully one of the early bales would be coming off, right? They'd be.
Well, no, not for another 12 hours. They're probably at like 50% at the moment. And you might as well, if we don't need money, you might as well try and hold out for when the price hits about 330 to 350 would be a good sell price.
What's it at right now?
Silage. I'm checking right now, actually. I think it's about 300 at the moment. Silage. 303, yeah.
Okay.
303, 304. So it should peak in February, but usually like kind of December, January, February, any one of those times would be a good time to sell silage.
All right, I wanna do some corpse speak here. I gotta circle back. I said earlier that I was a bit burned out, and I've been having trouble playing games lately. But I'll tell you what game I stomped. I finished the whole game in 9 hours. Is Slime Rancher. It's surprisingly good. I like it a lot. And I also liked Frostpunk, but I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to beat it because I don't think I understand the mechanics of the game well enough. I'm trying to keep as many people alive as possible, and apparently you have to be cruel and force everyone to suffer.
Yes.
It, you know,
great.
I feel like in a normal state of mind for me, that would be fine, but lately I've been off of games that like are like, all right, everyone should suffer. I'm trying to do positive ass shit.
What was it? Is it not Last of Us, or what's that one based around the Ukrainian war or Bosnian war or whatever?
Last War? Maybe?
No, it's This War of Mine.
This War of Mine, man, I heard so much great stuff about it, and then
it's depressing as fuck, isn't it?
And, oh yeah, man, I was like, nope.
Rough.
Like
Yeah.
I just had to nope my
That's
way out
rough.
of there. I had to pop smoke and get out because I was like,
I like the idea of that game, but the execution is so
rough
to actually play.
Oh.
They're like, all right, well,
I didn't have the mental resilience to deal with that shit.
do you want to feed a dog or do you want to murder 30 people to get 1 can of food? And I was like, I feed the dog. And they're like, you don't have enough food. All of your people die. The dog dies. The dog's dead skull looks at you and judges you for being a soldier. And I was like, whoa, this writing, okay. That doesn't happen, guys. I'm exaggerating a lot. The game is extremely judgmental and anti-war, though.
Yeah. Which is like, you know,
it's fine. It's fine. It's just not what I wanted to play at the time, and I definitely wouldn't play it now.
Nope.
It's definitely a good introduction for people who haven't had that sort of moral revelation yet. For me, that game was Metal Gear Solid. That game is a fucking crap. I'm talking about the first one, by the way, so.
PlayStation 1?
Yeah. That game was a revelation.
Wait, that war sucks?
I mean, I was like a teenager, man. After 9/11, everyone told us that war was great and that we were great. Yeah, I might have had a really different experience in childhood than you, and then along comes Metal Gear Solid, telling us that war is actually totally awful and that nuclear war is really, really bad. I mean, as much as the Metal Gear Solid series gets mixed up in all sorts of weird, wacky, perverted antics, the one thing it's always been is anti-nuclear proliferation, which for the folks at home means keeping fewer people from having nuclear weapons.
I was doing a presentation about drones, and I had a cadet, which is like I don't know, like a 12-year-old kid. I think why we didn't have nukes. It's like, I was here to discuss about quadcopters. How did I get here? Who allowed this kid to ask a question?
You guys even have
Apparently it's not
uranium
the first
mines?
time. Oh no, we have like a third of the uranium of the world, mate.
Really? I had no idea. We must be buying all of it.
Yes, you are. Because pretty much, well, you're not. You're trying to get other not as safe sources and use up their resources because we're always going to have your back. So, which is is why you guys have a
Will you?
The oil
All right, we're getting
reserve.
way too political here.
Yeah.
I have nothing against
But
Australia.
anyway,
it's just that they're being forced to choose between daddy and mommy, and mommy is made out of giant bricks of money.
Yeah. But wait, where's the there it is. How was I going with this? Yeah, we have like a third of the, might even be more than a third of the uranium deposits in the world.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised that Australia has a bunch of mineable resources that no one can get to yet.
Yeah.
Given the fact that 2/3 of your country is made of hellfire.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
What was that book? The Mutant Within or something? It was about a woman who went into the outback and made friends with the Aboriginals and she swore it was a true, actual thing that happened to her, but she also claims that she gained the ability to speak to Aboriginal people telepathically and also find water using her mind. It was weird, but assuming that it's correct, it means that whatever Aboriginal tribe she was sheltering with was there for the American atomic bomb tests in Australia, and thus captured pictograms of it happening when the sky was basically fire in every direction for them. I mean, that's normal in Australia now, but it didn't used to be.
Yeah, there's some serious issues around that.
But the fact that we use your totally open deserts with nothing in it to practice dropping giant bombs, don't worry, we put those things everywhere, man.
Yeah, but it wasn't empty.
Yes,
maybe,
I'm being sarcastic.
Not taken.
Every cut. No, I'm way past political point. I gotta pull back. Listen, if you want to know more about nuclear weapons, friends at home, just play Metal Gear Solid 1 through 5. You may regret it, but you'll learn a lot about nuclear proliferation in the process. You can skip Metal Gear Survive, though. It has nothing to do with nuclear weapons. Just about zombies.
Also, here, it's not that good.
Survive? I mean, it was really linear, but I liked it. I gotta be honest. I actually did like it. I didn't hate it. All right. The book I was talking about is Mutant Message Down Under. It's about an American woman's spiritual odyssey by Marlo Morgan. She claims to have gained magical powers while in Australia. So it's kind of hard to take her seriously, but beyond the magical power part, the book is pretty good. I mean, the only person I read nowadays is Brandon Sanderson, and I guess at some point I need to finish the Sam Sykes novel I was reading. That guy's crazy, though. On Twitter, he just openly admits to writing all his plots while he's smoking a fat joint. Totally wasted. He has written the worst wizard teenager in history. This kid, I hate him. Every time he shows up, he's like, yeah, that's right. I'm super powerful. I know how to cast Fireball. All of you should bow before me. Also, I'm good at sex. And then, everyone's like, no, dude, you're 16 and you're an asshole. And he's like, all right, I set everyone on fire. And all his friends are like, dude, chill it. You cannot set everyone on fire. He's like, oh, yeah, watch me. And then they, slap him and they're like, all right, come on, dude. Come on. You can't do this. It is the most accurate depiction of a wizard teenager I've ever seen.
Yeah, it sounds pretty on brand, not gonna lie.
I just found out my uncle just told me, because I'm dropping off my dog there whilst I'm out of town. It's like, oh yeah, his daughter is turning 18, and I was like, holy shit! I was like, I remember when that child was born. All right, now I feel old.
Oh yeah, I got little. My cousins are having kids, right? And I got like little cousins, and I've not made any attempt to hide the fact that I don't like children. They're miniature humans who you can injure by accidentally bumping into them. They have no manners, and they have no filter. They're everything that we are, but like scary. And also, they're always sick. Everywhere, all the time. They're always sick, and they'll get you sick too.
Oh yeah, they will.
I don't know. I just don't like little kids. I don't like bigger kids either. They're mean. But it's intentional. It's not accidental like little kids. Now I realize I'm letting that bitterness out. All right. Making a note for next time. No talking about kids. Some people get mad when I talk about kids.
That's right. We can switch to. Have you heard of a book series called Tales of the Otori?
I have
don't know if I'm
not.
pronouncing that correct.
Never heard of it.
Called.
Have you read any of Sarah J. Maas's novels?
No.
Interesting. You're missing out. I would consider her to be a not protege. I would consider her to be a colleague of Sanderson. It's pretty good for what it is, although one of her series recently ended, like a 11 novel streak, and the ending reveal actually, like, I threw my tablet across the room. I was so furious. And I consider people who throw things like game controllers to be the worst, most toxic people in all of existence. I'm exaggerating.
They're garbage. Garbage human beings.
I do feel like, self-control while using electronics. The reveal was so bad. It was literally like, oh yeah, this whole time you never realized it, but X. And I was like, that is so dumb. Your reveal right there, what, not only does it counteract the lore that was already in place, like, this is your big reveal, but it's just dumb. It was a bad move. So look, ending a series is tough, and I know that, but ending it that way was just bad. She just, if she hadn't wrote the novel, it would have been fine. I was just right at the end, stumbling over the finish line. It was the stumble that got me.
Chris, how do I sell the silage? Because it doesn't seem to want to pick it up.
So it's got to be fully. It's got to be fully converted to silage. So it needs to be fully fermented, and then you just push your tower of silage into where that dumpster is, and it should disappear. Like where the concrete changes textures in front of the bins, it should be just there. Hang on. Let me see if I can. Oh yeah, hang on. You're. Get to where you are.
Is this not the right place?
No. So up here, if you follow me, goes over here, and you'll see these two bins. And you go up to the top part of the bin, and there's these two different changes in concrete. So the trigger is somewhere in here.
Anywhere. All right, good. I'll just pick those back up then.
Yeah. Where you are down there is where you pick up what's it, like the slurry fertilizer or whatever. Okay. If you own the the byproduct. So I'm just going to drop a link to that book series. It's about feudal Japan. It's pretty cool. It's been a while since I've
Feudal Japan. What a world.
Yeah.
What a world. Have you ever seen The History of the World Part 1 with, no, The History of the World, I guess, by Bill Wirtz? Oh boy. I'll send it to you, and then he also has The History of Japan, I guess. And at one point he's like, the Imperial Palace became a wonderland. Art, music, theater, poetry. Outside, everyone was starving, so they hired warriors. Samurai. Oh my god. The History of the World, I guess, is really good. You shouldn't show it to children, though. I found that out because there's like a couple F-bombs in it.
Oh, we have weeds in our big field. 32. Let me go get this.
Oh, is that the wheat field? I think that's my field.
Whatever, 32.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, do what you got to do.
Yeah. God, speaking of like listening to something and then going, oh my god, what am I listening to? God, what was it? This was this audiobook I was listening to, and it was about like Neanderthals and humans, like that time period where Neanderthals and God, Homo sapiens,
Yes,
were
that is the thing that I am.
At the same time. Yep, they existed at the Earth at the same time, and like the theoretical interactions between those two groups that might have happened, and about a humanoid baby that a Neanderthal female picks up and takes as her own, and like the
But
way
it was a Homo sapien.
Yeah, and the first book is kind of interesting because obviously, like they like talk about like because of the way what we know about their voice, their throat structure and stuff like that they wouldn't have talked, to the level of articulation that we can and all that sort of stuff, and so like there were different ways they communicated. It was just an interesting book thinking about this, group of people that existed that no longer exist. Species of human, whatever.
There are a lot of different human groups that also no longer exist.
Yeah, but then then it got some really weird sex rape things came into it, and it was like, I guess, and I was just like, oh,
just like Wheel of Time.
And like, yeah, oh no, this was like a mashup between that and like some of the more difficult scenes. Like it was far more explicit than what Wheel of Time was, and I was listening to this in a basically a factory floor on headphones. Thank God. It'd be like walking past me as I'm hearing about like forced penetration. It was just like I was just. But at the time, like I'd already listened through all of book 1, and this was like into book 2, and it was like one of those things where I was like, do I just kind of like grind my teeth through this? Because I'm interested in a lot of the other major storylines, and then I just realized that I was like, that was the bad part of what I now was listening to was like a spaghetti sex novel, like spaghetti western sex novel, which is like what the rest of the series really is, or a large portion of it anyway. And I was like, damn it, I was misled as to what I was getting myself into.
I used to do that thing where I grit my teeth and force my way through it, but now I just don't have any patience for that shit anymore. That's why I've stopped watching a lot of anime. I hit something that is so absurd, I just can't continue. It was like a Couple of Cuckoos, which is a manga where like a young man and a young woman get switched at birth. So then their two families are friends, and they switch back. And then they're like dating at some point because they have no genetic relationship with each other. But then his non-blood related sister he's lived with his entire life starts following him in everywhere. And one of his dads is basically like, you should marry your sister. It would solve all our problems. And I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done. What kind of father starts a conversation with, you should marry your sister? It would solve a lot of problems.
Al Adsberg,
I don't know who that is.
ruling family in most of Europe for like almost 2 centuries.
Oh, you're talking about the actual real Habsburgs.
Yeah.
I don't know that they were into marrying your sister, but they definitely had a lot of cousins.
Definitely, yeah. Fair.
They may have been the originator of kissing cousins, to be honest.
Oh, I'm sure that.
Hey, they had a great plot, man. Put royals in every royal family. That way, no one will ever fight us, because they'll be fighting themselves. It didn't work, but they got close.
They definitely fought themselves.
Yeah, they definitely fought. You know, in Battletech, the Marek family is descended directly from the Habsburg line.
Explains a lot.
This bloody thing is full of fertilizer, not herbicide.
We
Okay.
have a tank, I think, that has herbicides in it.
You can just unload it and go get the herbicide, right?
Yeah, I know, I can. It's just trying to
You were
keep
shocked.
an eye on track where these
Let me make it noir for a second. He was shocked. He looked inside the tank. This was an herbicide fertilizer. Who'd done it? Who had snuck in the middle of the night and switched them out? And for what purpose? Standing in the streetlight, he shook out a cigarette and lit it. It glowed cherry red in his mouth. Why? Who? How? Did any of these questions matter? He asked himself. Looking down the street, he saw a dame with hams for gams. That's it, I'm out.
Yeah. The word dame should be returned.
I feel like gams should be returned as well. Wait, we call plenty of people dame. Most of them are Judi Dench, but...
Alright, this one's poison.
I mean, dame literally just means female knight, so, you know. In America, we don't have dames because we don't have knights. I don't know if we're missing out.
On knights?
Yeah. You know, a lot of places thought knights were a good idea for thousands of years, but look around you now. Do you see anybody riding around in plate mail with a lance? Nope. Not solving any problems now, are you?
I don't know. Patrick Stewart's a knight, so...
Yeah,
Sure,
you see
Patrick
him
Stewart.
running around solving problems? Actually, you do. His charity work is legendary. I just needed to make the joke, man.
I'm gonna have to buy 2 pallets of fertilizer? Maybe 3.
Do what you need.
Definitely afford it. I finished
Do what you
the,
want. A pirate is free. And you are a pirate. Being a pirate is all right with me.
Being a pirate, it's alright to be.
Wow, it's hard to believe it's already 11:15. Maybe it's just because I'm a little tired, but it feels like it went very quickly. Especially when I've kind of been counting hours lately.
Hey, it's just all the stellar conversation.
I mean, I hope you met your guys' conversation. I've been memeing for 3 hours. All right. On a more serious note, let me ask. There's this story I've been looking to tell for a while, but I don't want to tell you guys it if you've already heard it from me before. Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would have told you. It's a Sith legend.
That was rough.
It was a pretty good book.
Did you read it? Darth Plagueis?
I think I did the audiobook.
Okay. Star Wars audiobooks have not been of great quality for a while. I don't mean that the audiobook's the problem, I just mean that the book's the problem.
Yeah, well...
What's in this? Oh, soybeans are in this. Interesting.
I can chew through content, even if it's not great. Like, you know, when you're just looking for content.
I don't know. There was a time when I was just looking for content, but now what I'm looking for is love. No, I'm kidding. You know, at the beginning of COVID, it was really brief, but there was a company that reached out with me and asked me if I wanted to be on their Twitch dating show. And I told them I was interested in hearing, there was no way I would ever agree to it. And then I started seeing everything that was going on with them. So like the past things that they'd done were kind of cringy, but their plan was to get all of the dating candidates in one mansion in the middle. And this is early COVID. I'm talking like May 2020. So when it was really bad. And we had no vaccine, we had nothing. So they're like, we're going to get all of the candidates and an entire film crew in a house over a week, and we will eliminate candidates one by one. So it's like one dude and a bunch of women, I think. And I like, at the point they released that, I was like, no thanks, I'm out. I don't need to know anything else, guys. Oh, I never heard back from them. But, you know, there are thousands of Twitch streamers, hundreds of thousands actually. Why did they pick me for their dating show? Why me? What? I literally have no idea how someone would look at me or my content and think this would be a good participant for a dating show. They must have. I'm not even being self-depreciating right now. They literally must have looked at me and been like, this is going to be an easy elimination. Like, I have no game. I'm not saying that as a comedy. I literally have no game. I still think about it. Why did they ever invite me? I must have been like one of those guys when you go on Survivor, right? And you see a guy and you're like, that guy's getting out first round. He's done. Yep. Like, no chance. That's all I got. I don't think Twitch is a good format for dating shows either. Like, I think it's weird to have streamers date each other publicly. Nobody's weighing in. No, I'm feeling really nervous.
I mean, I don't have an opinion. Like, my watching on Twitch is like 3 people. I don't watch Twitch as a platform.
So it's me, your favorite VTuber, Gwar Gura,
Nope.
and... No? You don't agree?
I mean, first of all the VTubers, I think, are on YouTube, or most
No.
of them.
V-Shoujo's on Twitch as our most independent VTubers, like Sarue and Bao, Leaflet, Nemu.
Yeah, but I've watched like enough of VTubing. I'm good. It's
Okay.
not bad content. It's just not for me.
It's fine. Listen, I'm not here to force people to watch VTubing. I'm in a bit of a huffle with VTubing right now. Oh, listen, I was making a joke. Everyone should watch Gwar Gura, though. Anyway, who are your 2 others that you watch? I am assuming one of them is me.
Yep. There is a guy called Shotgun Shogun,
Yeah, I know of this person.
and then the other one was, well, I should say was, what's his name again? Got it here. One sec.
What's my name again? What's my name again? Wow, classic. Early 90s, late 2000s.
I can't believe. Of course they wanted you.
The one's Germa, but you know.
Oh, German 985? Sure. I know almost nothing about him except apparently he might be a serial killer.
He's a weird guy. I enjoy that he makes his own content because he wants to make it, not because he thinks it's gonna be good.
Wow. I wish I could go back to being that guy.
Yep.
I want the adulation of the people, my friend.
Listen, like he did.
Once you get breads and circuses, you never want to go back to non-bread, non-circuses.
Did an entire thing about making characters fight in old Nintendo 64 wrestling thing on AI control, and just commenting on it.
That sounds amazing. Like SmackDown and Raw from back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I don't know why you think that's weird. That sounds great.
Yeah, but it is a weird content. No matter what.
Maybe.
Also, his characters that he made were, you know, just out there.
Mr.
Extra.
It's Doctor. Mr. Doctor. It's strange. Well, maybe. Welcome, Lord Prettybeard. Thank you for your resub. Thank you for your time here. You may be late, but I am still not good at making content. So don't worry, you haven't missed anything useful.
And we haven't helped.
Shit, you guys have been doing all the work. What are you talking about? All right, where is that cultivator? Is this it? I feel like I just used it, so I should know where it is. I'm definitely the last person who used it. Yeah, it is the big blue super thing. Girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Let's go ahead. Let your hair down. That's the thing. I memed Pondo that song today, but I don't know that anybody got that joke or that reference. I don't know if anyone listens to Karina Ray Bailey.
Not I.
And that's like 15 years. You played Tajiri? Look, I'll be honest. I did a lot of The Rock. Also, that guy, Crash, I think was his name, who said he was allegedly well over 285 pounds. But my top two were Mr. Ass and
Billy Gunn.
Yeah, Billy Gunn. I mean, I have made no attempt to hide the fact that several characters in Solaris Knights or many of my shows are based literally on him, with no attempt to change the name at all.
Yeah, he was a medic in Cold War, right?
Yeah. And also, who is the sumo wrestler? Rikishi. His special move was slamming people with his giant ass.
Yep.
Yep.
Yokozuna also did that.
I don't recall that. But yeah, I liked all the let's call them S tier characters. The Rock, the Undertaker. I mean, the Undertaker was great. Kane, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. God, Eddie Guerrero. Wait, that might be the name of a Tekken character.
Yep.
Who was the...
Where...
He died of like a cocaine overdose. His name was Eddie. He was part of Lie, Cheat, Steal.
Yeah, it's
La Familia?
I think it's just Guerrero or something like
Eddie
that.
Guerrero? Is that
Yeah,
true?
I think so.
Alright, that might be right.
There's him and his cousin that were both...
God, you know, it's insane. He literally started he was in the middle of an arc that was like, all right, I'm not a villain anymore, I'm a hero. And he died like right as it started. It was amazing. He was on his way up. Macho Man. I would not say he's a top tier character. I did a Macho Man gladiator for Slayer Sites. It was painful.
Did not last long.
What was his name again?
Zilla.
Oh, Zillia, right. The Z-Man, the most electrifying wrestler, the most electrifying gladiator in all of Solaris. Sports entertainment. Zillia died immediately. You know what? I don't remember who it was, but I'm going to bet it was Seth that killed him, because if it's not Seth, it was Hunter. The two of them have killed everyone who's cool.
Pretty much.
The Z-Man. Sting. Wow, there's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Oof. Sting as layers.
Well, that is one way to put it. Sure. Alright, chat saying it was Hunter that killed Zillia, the Z-Man, the most electrifying gladiator in Solaris Sports Entertainment.
Then chat must be right.
Chat normally is right. I mean, I'm not going to say 100%. Sometimes they troll me, so.
Sometimes they do me wrong.
True.
Do you dirty.
You know, the only sad part about Zillia's death is he didn't die to a PPC, in which point he could have been the most electrifying man.
Wow. No respect for this man's death.
Not at all.
It seemed rough.
I also would have said T-Semp would have been the better choice, but those aren't available yet. So I'll take it. Those are something for T, something for S, EMP. I don't know why Battletech called them T-Semps instead of just EMP, but there's a lot about Battletech I don't understand.
Yeah, they're making decisions.
That's true.
Just put it that
I
way.
will say this. Battletech, as a company, are making decisions. That's true.
It's just like that was my comeback. It's art. You don't like it, make it yourself.
I did make it myself. And it would be really questionable to call some of their decisions art. Lord Prettybeard says he remembers Rikishi. Everybody remembers Rikishi, dude. He's a simple character. He's a Hawaiian Japanese dude, I'm pretty sure, with a big butt, and he hit people with it.
Yep.
He was a jobber. He was supposed to lose all the time.
Kind of mid-tier jobber when you think about it, because he did win. He did have a couple,
Yeah, but
streaks of.
it would never be against someone like Stone Cold
No.
Steve Austin or The Rock.
No, he was only there to show that they were that much more powerful.
I don't know that. Maybe it's just been a while since that golden age, but I don't think he was Samoan. I guess he could have been, but I honestly thought he was Hawaiian. Again, I could definitely be wrong. It's been 20 years.
I mean, I'm sure.
I don't know that during that, what was it called, the Attitude Era, that they had like A-tier jobbers. I think they all just beat the shit out of each other and are rotating. Nowadays, they definitely have A-tier jobbers whose job is to just get beaten up by John Cena.
No, they definitely did. Have,
Yeah, name one.
Mr. Perfect.
I don't know who that is.
Isn't it Mr. Perfect?
I don't
The guy
recall
was-
that name.
No. Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man.
I don't
Always
remember
there
that
to
either.
beat.
I'm not.
making these
Listen,
up.
I'm not saying those characters don't exist. I just don't remember them, which is, there's plenty of people I don't remember.
I mean, for a long time, Christian.
I might like to forget.
All right, I will give you Christian. Yes.
Edge went phase too quick, so you couldn't. Yeah, but he was pretty much there too.
Ric Flair? How fucking dare you call Ric Flair a jobber? All right, the Nature Boy. He was a winner, sir. He was a winner. He was part of
The Horseman.
He was part of Triple H's crew. How can you call that a loser? They were winners. Almost all of them ended up being WWE champions. Ric Flair was literally the only one who wasn't, I think. All right, people are listing A-tier jobbers, so I guess I'm out. You guys are all right.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho? Chris Jericho was not a jobber. He was a winner.
He lost a whole lot.
And he won a whole lot. He held titles.
He did.
Jobber, listen, guys. Jobbers don't hold titles. It's in their job title.
Yeah, I get that.
No winning when it's real, when it's significant.
It depends, though. There's multiple timelines for Chris Jericho. He definitely started as a jobber for a long time.
Sure. You know, Vince McMahon had to convince Andre the Giant to job for the title. And he was worried that Andre just wouldn't lose, that he would just choose to win.
Yeah, because there's no way they can stop him from winning.
I mean, it's like that when they got guys like The Rock in the ring, right? Like, The Rock in his 20s and early 30s was such a strong physical specimen that, like, beating him, if you weren't... Yeah, like, you think Stone Cold Steve Austin, a dude who's a raging drunk, is going to be able to beat The Rock? Like, forget about it. If The Rock didn't want to lose, he would just not lose. And hey, that's happened before, where people in the ring have just made the call, and then everyone on the announcer's bench has to scramble for new lines.
Hey, listen, you think anyone could have taken Diesel if his quads could have held up for a second?
Titles were given away so people could win them back. Yeah, tell that to John Cena. Jesus. John Cena. I hate him so much. It's weird because he's such a nice, charitable dude, but also his character is such a dick.
Well, he started as his character as I'm going to be a punk that's just going to be rhyming all the time.
There are a lot of people whose characters started out stupid and then they got a writing shift and they got a lot better. Might I point you to Triple H, who started off as a dude who was like
this.
I'm very rich. I'm so rich.
It was pretty bad. It was like hilarious.
Then he became a dude with a sledgehammer. Yeah, it was much better as Triple H than as he Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Yeah, back when he needed China to win all his matches.
Oh, don't get it wrong. He needed somebody to win all his matches most of the time. Yes, John Cena was a Superman. Yes, guys, we all know. John Cena was supposed to win all the time. He's a super powerful, ultra-American great hero, and I don't like him. He's past my time. Listen, I like his theme song music. I like it a lot. But I lived in an era of The Rock. Triple H, Kane, Undertaker. Is the Undertaker still wrestling?
No, he retired.
My God, I was gonna say that dude's got to be like 70 now. That's a guy who they built a mystique around. The idea of taking the Undertaker at WrestleMania, and it was always close, but he won every single time. They built a character around him, and they did a great job.
Oh, speaking of A-tier jobber, do you consider Goldust?
I don't know who that is.
Dustin Rhodes.
I don't know who that is.
The guy that was always painted in gold with like black.
I still don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. You're doing a great job of describing someone. Don't get me wrong. All right, field complete. I guess next is to go store all this soy that was left in the field. Alright, Chad is saying that Gold Dust is a A-tier jobber,
Excellent.
I think.
He ended up having a title run, but you know, after like 10 years of getting ass whooped.
You know, now that we're all discussing this, it's a great time to mention that I ran a show called Worldwide Wrestling, which uses the Worldwide Wrestling tabletop RPG rules for a long time. And if you like watching me run a show about professional wrestling, that would be the place to watch it. I also run a show about professional gladiatoring that I draw a lot of inspiration from the WWE about, called Battletech Solaris Knights. You may have heard of it. See, I'm laughing because everyone here has heard of it because they all watch it. And that's it. Like, everyone here is the full viewership of Solaris Knights. There are no other people.
Sure.
Correction? I don't watch it.
Oh no! We found one who is not like us. Let's shame him. Boo.
Battletech's not my jam.
It's okay.
It's not my jam.
It's okay. I'm working on getting other shows. Listen, you're definitely not the only one. My friend Jimtopia, he's the one that we did some of the escape room games with. He does not like Battletech at all. And so he's been waiting for me to launch other shows, like another Dungeons and Dragons show. Sorry, I have to cough. All right, I cleared that. Well, I'm doing pretty good lately. I have to tell you, before, because I'm on blood thinners now, before I got the humidifier for Christmas, I was like nose bleeding every day and coughing constantly. I did not realize what a huge difference it would make. And it has been an extra dry winter here. Super duper dry. 0.3 of my players? How can there be 0.3 of any players? I would say Amos Everett definitely was a fake gladiator. You know, he's a professional wrestler. Hunter McGregor, I mean, he literally showed up in the arena with a fake name and a fake persona. Who else? I would go so far as to say Kane Damiel did a fairly decent Triple H. He was literally just a super rich dude who showed up to wrestle, and then he got his ass kicked really bad to the point that he literally died doing it. Start filling it. No, I want to unfill. How do I unload stuff?
So you gotta.
Yeah.
So you
Probably need to change the type of seed in the depot.
Seed? What?
I mean, you're unloading, right? It's like it's just gonna see that we have a multitude of seeds in there.
Right, but I want to unload the soybean into it.
I get that. I'm just saying.
How do I do it?
So you might have the option to unload.
Press the U button, so tip side back, so that's the
yep,
back
there you go.
hopper of the first one.
Yep, I got that, thank you. I thought it was in the front thing, but it said the back. That's so weird. I could physically see it in the front car.
Yeah, but there's two hoppers in the front car, and then there's 3 hoppers in the rear car, and you need to select whether you're using the front cart or the rear cart, and then whether it's the front or the rear hopper of the front or rear cart. It's fucking mind-blowing.
Yep, I'm with you now. Alright, have a good night, Pretty Beard. I mean, you say you're going to sleep, but that's the 3rd time you've said it, so I don't really believe you. You have no credibility here.
Sick of your lies.
Yeah, I was gonna say, listen guys, that is what's called negging people. You tell them something that will upset them slightly so that they will feel incensed and go do it. It's also how you flirt with women, which is part of the reason I have no game. Because one thing, negging is a horrible thing to do to another person. And two, I don't do negging. I would rather not comment about other people at all. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit like gaslighting, I suppose. I can't think of any technical difference between negging and gaslighting. Negging is definitely a colloquial American college term for sure. Take a look around at what's going on.
Can I fertilize field 30 so it's just done and ready to go then for whenever we see?
Yeah.
Like you won't lose the fertilizer.
I agree with you. I'm not arguing with you in any way.
Yeah. Just checking. Just checking.
Do we have nothing planted in 34 and 33? Or is that the grass?
Both grass.
Why isn't it showing up?
Yeah,
I
just harvested it.
No, it's because I clicked grass off. That's why.
No. Actually, grass is off by default, which doesn't make any sense why it's the only one. Every time you open up the game, you got to turn grass back on again.
And I didn't turn it off, and I don't feel dumb now. Well, I still feel dumb, but I don't feel dumb about that. All right. Who has a project they are working on right now?
I have very nearly.
You're
90% finished.
I mean, personally, I'm
project here on the field.
I need to wait. Is where I'm at. My projects are waiting for chickens to grow up and cows to start giving up more milk.
So you need time.
Yep. That's about it. Everything else is like grass is just gonna regrow, and we're gonna turn most of it into silage, keep some as A, and be done with that.
Do you have the breedle or do you have the sprayer?
I have the breedle.
Okay.
Because the sprayer's got all herbicide in it. I can't be bothered swatching it. Swapping it out.
Swippy swapping?
Twishwar.
Hello, Melume Tafa? Chet Wananowalia? Oh, sorry. That's what Rito and Anakin say to each other in Pod Racer Town. Tatooine.
My mate loves using the 9num or like audio files from not Battlefield, but no, Battlefront. Whatever it is.
Star Wars Battlefront. Yep.
I spin around. So many weird things he says in that.
So do we need a windrower in the grass area right now, or are we good?
We're good.
Okay, we are good. All right, I will fold the windrower up then.
Yeah, you're gonna laugh about this. So, a friend of mine started his own ARC server this weekend.
You're right, I am going to laugh.
Yeah. So, took about 4 hours to fiddle and set up the server so it would actually work. Like, that's not the funny part yet. Took 2 hours for them to say, fuck off, this game sucks.
It does suck.
And uninstall it.
I have to tell you, ARC right now is like 300 fucking gigabytes, and they do uncompressed patches constantly. ARC.
I know, it's dumb.
Just the deliverable side of ARC is pain. It's intense pain meant to injure the viewer of the product. Wait, is there weeds in this? What? Oh, they're dead weeds. Now I understand. Is a 98% yield bonus good? It sounds like it's good.
I think the maximum is 135, but that's
so it's
if you
not
have
good.
some stuff turned off.
Alright.
Yeah, 100 is effectively the best.
All right. So I almost got the 100 on this wheat field. Soon we shall feast on your delicious wheat and also feed it to animals, I guess?
Just a very small portion.
Sure.
Or we could use the barley. Oh no, wait, we can't. I found that out last time.
I'm pretty sure I planted
felt-
that wheat with the express idea of feeding the animals and then selling the rest. We don't need to feed our animals barley. We'll feed them the king of grains. I feel like I definitely came off the worst one for that.
Okay, I'm not gonna question the physics of this happening.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm just really good at doing that. Haven't you realized that when it comes to flipping tractors over, I'm the best?
Around?
Yeah, we're on the same page. Yeah.
Let's not forget my yellow tractor incident.
Huh? He just drifted. Huh? Oh!
Ooh.
I cut that one way too close.
You're not in a go-kart. What are you doing?
I mean, I made several rotations around you at close range without slamming into you. I thought it was pretty good. Especially for never braking or actually taking my foot off the accelerator, which is the stupidest, most dangerous way to drive. That time I brake, though.
Yeah.
Oh!
You are getting covered in fertilizer, but
That's fine.
look out.
Wow. You just bumper cars me pretty badly.
I said look out.
He's not gonna be happy with his returns on investment with this one. Kept wrecking tractors.
This is why we don't have insurance.
We've got great insurance. If you remember, I bribed the county insurance commissioner.
Is it called 2 shovels and a flatbed truck?
Just remember, James is our
Man.
financial officer. We can afford to bribe plenty of people.
I still love every time I catch up with him and I'm like, where were you just? And he's like, I had a very important meeting. And he's just like wearing, you know,
A Clan Jade Falcon
shirt.
t-shirt?
yes, it's hilarious. It just
Oh my
blows
god.
my mind every. He's wearing the same one. He's wearing that what's the super tank that the guards have? The guardsmen have. I know they have a few, but what's like the super tank? Yeah, Baneblade. He has his Baneblade shirt on. That it seems to be the only shirt he ever brings to Melbourne. Like every time I see him, he's wearing that shirt. I'm like, who were you just having a meeting with? And I'm like, tell me how many figures is what's the mean number of figures people are earning around this table?
I mean, if they're playing,
Like, and you just
they're playing
No, they're not playing, mate.
Warhammer.
Yeah.
They're
they're having corporate dinners, mate.
That's what I'm
Corporate
saying.
dinners.
Only CEOs can afford to play with Warhammer.
Wow.
Anyone can play Titan Legions or anything that has to come from Forge for the Forge world.
I remember when In Control bought his Super Titan and then had to pay like $400 to get it painted, and he got to use it one time in a tournament. He just put it on the table and said, "This is my army." He was doing pretty good. I think he managed to lock up a couple of first place paying tournament wins.
I mean, maybe.
All right, is anyone currently working on a big project? I mean,
Negative.
on the farm. I think it's time to call it, boys. Take your extra 10 minutes early and use that 10-minute break to think about how devoted you are to the company, how much you like Boss Perkins, and think about whether you want to invest your hard-earned money in Perkins Farms stock.
So I think if we get some more players on for the next game, you need to have like a megaphone filter on and get everybody to turn up at the store for some sort of a farmhouse or something, and then you can just do the megaphones like, okay, so we got field 6.
Okay, guys, let's get together.
Yeah, that one.
I'm way ahead of you.